Welcome, welcome. We're out here. Hold on. There I am. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. 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 Welcome to another Men Talk stream. It has been a very, 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 very long time. I don't know, like how long has it been? A month? 2 months? I don't know. Yo, your boy like comes into these streams like I'm like your dad coming back from getting milk from the store, bruv. Like I know I post pretty frequently, but the streams, man, like I've been trying to make these as consistent as possible. I just never get there. Like hold on, let me see. What's going on in the chat right now? There we go. Jesus Guerrero, hello. Mario Plush Bros, hello. Zay, what is up? Yeah. Why would you put a screenshot of the remake in the thumbnail? Why not? That's actually not from the remake, so I'm not really spoiling anything. That is from a very talented artist that put that there. Unless I'm wrong about that. Hold on, let me go to the thumbnail real quick. Where is this stream? Sometimes it's like really hard to find my own stuff on YouTube. All right, so that thumbnail is from thumbnail artist. I put DurGamer0. This I don't think is an actual screenshot from the game. If it's not, then I don't know. If this is from the game, I wouldn't be surprised. But if it's not, like this actually seems like it seems very legit to me. But yeah, shout out to DurGamer if this is actually something that they made. If not, then I'm crediting the wrong person and this is Nintendo. So anyway, welcome to the stream, guys. There's a lot of stuff that I want to catch up on. As people start filtering in, there's a few things that I really wanted to talk about, which I haven't had a time to make formal videos regarding. Let me put on some chill autumn music for you guys. Welcome to November, everybody. This is my birth month. How about that? I just went through another birthday. Hence the balloons in the back. So I got little dinosaur balloons going for me over there. But yeah, like I had to go on a trip for work, which throughout Ment October, that's pretty much like I was grinding and putting like all this work into making a weekly video per week. So all of those videos that like like Ment October always gets less views, but I love the Halloween theme, so I always put it out there. But yeah, these 4 videos that you guys see here, ooh, spoilers, let me not show you my dashboard. Come on, I just doxed my own channel. I don't want to show you what's upcoming yet. But yeah, I had to go on a very long work trip for my like actual job. And I made these 4 videos, like the Bowsette one, the 2 disturbing moments in your childhood, which was a huge undertaking. Like I went through everybody's comments to put together these 2 compilations of disturbing moments and a Majora's Mask. So all of that, and then I had to travel on a 20-hour flight to the other side of the world for work. Can you believe they planned that trip during Ment October? This is ridiculous. So I missed so many news along the way, like the release of Sonic Superstars, the release of Super Mario Brothers Wonder, all of that stuff I had to like pack in, and then when I got back, I had to finish playing them. I didn't have time because I needed to put out more content and stuff. So that's technically why you see this Donkey Kong video here. It's a compilation of old content because I needed to buy myself some time. You guys would only hear that on stream. I would never say that in a video, or maybe I would, who knows. How's everybody doing? Thank you for the birthday wishes. Phoenix Gundam, Emily Rose, Shay, welcome to the stream. J to the P Moreno, I didn't say your name earlier. Benki Aoshi. Yeah, Valentine's Day babies. That's exactly what we are out here, bruv. Scorpio season is Valentine's Day goodness, basically. Hip Hop Her, welcome. We got the squad out here. Look, this is actually my very first chill stream in a very long time. Normally you guys see me come up on here and start doing like, I'll start playing games and things like that, but today I'm not really doing that. I do have an agenda somewhat, but it's like, we're gonna play it loose today, loosey goosey. I got my little Voodoo Ranger IPA here. I'm not sponsored by them yet, but maybe one of these days. Maybe a sponsor will come my way sometime soon. Like, it is not, I'll tell you something, like my topics are all over the place, but that's so much to talk about. Let me tell you guys something. Getting a sponsor for YouTube, it's like all over the place. Like, if you get to a certain amount of subscribers or you get a certain amount of views, like your email is filled with spam. I can't get rid of these people, and it's like all these shady businesses that are trying to get money out your pocket. Can you imagine, like, you know how like the scammers contact all these old people all the time, and they're just like, hey sir, I'm calling from Microsoft. YouTube has like a new level of scam for that. Like everybody is like freaking trying to get in on that piece of the pie, and it's like, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. So so like having to go through that and like figure out who I want as a sponsor, and like I don't want to sit here and sell you guys Raid Shadow Legends because nobody likes that game. Who the fuck plays that game? So if even they came with me to $5,000, I feel like my user base would just leave me if I like I don't know, watch the next video. I'm saying, hey guys, let me tell you about Raid Shadow Legends. Anyway, I'm screaming into the mic, sorry. So that's what's been up. Like, it's been a lot of work, so I had to put out that Donkey Kong video, kind of space things out. Me and Alex are working on a new video that's coming out this weekend. So if you guys haven't noticed, like, me and Alex switch off when it comes to like editing duties and all that. You know, because I want to keep on top of the content. So I think I'll be at a comfortable place pretty soon. So yeah, that's kind of where the content's going. I'm not doing a Zelda video next, just as spoilers. We are going to another realm next video. Hint, hint. I'm not dropping Zelda 100%. So like, I just need a little break from Zelda because like a lot for the research for Zelda is intense, super intense. There's like so much to learn from like all of these development stories, and the more effort I put into the content, like the longer it's gonna take. So I'm getting to my happy place with that. So yeah, that's what's been going on. Super Jump Bros, welcome to the stream. Let's see, Phoenix Gundam, but that Nigerian prince might be real. Hey, if a Nigerian prince wants to sponsor me and they have a product that I like, hit me up. Let me know. I'm ready to go. Like I'm ready. This stuff doesn't pay itself, man. Like all of these, like the editing costs and like all the equipment that I'm getting and stuff like that, it's not cheap. So I'm figuring out a way around that. But yeah, so welcome to the stream, everybody. So today, like, we got nominations for the Game Awards. I wanted to actually sit here and go through those with you guys. I did it last year. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend the Game Awards this year, unfortunately. Like normally I sit here and I'll stream the Game Awards with you guys, and they're always like very successful streams. Like a lot of you guys want to sit here and watch that with me, and considering I have much more subscribers than last year, it's actually crazy to see like that people actually want to join this stream. But I won't be able to do it this year. I will be out of town, and unfortunately I'll miss the Game Awards, but I'm doing something fun. So there's that. I'll be gone for a couple of weeks in Japan, which I think is going to be a blast. I have like this whole trip planned out. I don't know like if I'll record content out there, if I want to keep it like personal, but we'll see. Aside from that, like I will be working on some videos. You guys will be getting some videos throughout the holiday season, and they'll be fun. But I'll be missing the Game Awards. So today we're going to go through those nominations. I'm going to cast my own vote. Yeah, I know the Game Awards bingo. We're not doing it this year, unfortunately, man. It sucks, but like I'm here kind of like, man, maybe I should stream from Japan, but like I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it because my audio quality is going to be trash like it is right now. Why is my mic buzzing again? Like I thought they fixed this. Hang on. I think it's my mixer. Like anytime I'm on stream, for some reason this starts bugging. I gotta like this happened last time, and it almost like destroyed my whole stream. But whatever, we'll power through it. Men Talk meetup in Japan. Yeah, any Japanese fans out there watching the channel right now, let me know. I will do a meetup somewhere. I don't guarantee. Emily Rose, yay, your videos are my favorite way to learn about video games. I'm not super familiar with. That's kind of the point too. So I'm glad people are actually consuming this the way that I intended. All right, so a few things I did want to talk about, right? Let me start with Super Mario Wonder. So I'm not gonna get too deep into it because I think I want to do the Game Awards nominees first, and I'm gonna cast my vote live on stream. I would love to hear your guys' opinions on you know, like the nominees that were chosen as we go through them. I'm excited to see what's going on there. Super Mario RPG is out next week, so I think I want to be a part of that too, and I'll probably stream that. I'll still be around. I don't know if I'll be busy finalizing any videos or whatever, but After this weekend, like I'm going out of town this weekend. I'll be back during the week, so maybe throughout the week I can start streaming some Super Mario RPG. So I know there's that. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I really enjoy that game, but I have some criticism for it. Let me put the trailer in the background as I talk about this. Maybe this is something that I want to put in a formal video. But I didn't want to like do your traditional types of reviews. I actually wanted to like, the first thing I see, what makes Super Mario Brothers Wonder so perfect? I disagree with this statement, man. Can you guys believe, like, I'm honestly not fully on board with the game. I thought it was a blast to play, but I'll give it like maybe a solid 8. I think like it doesn't have the same impact that new Super Mario Brothers Wii did for me. But maybe like I'm overestimating, or I'm having nostalgia glasses for Super Mario Brothers Wii. But it's definitely not on the same level as Super Mario 3D World, which I think was like this perfect combination of like that 2D Mario formula, but they kind of put it into 3D. And I felt there was so much content in that game. Wonder, I don't know, like Wonder just feels like new Super Mario Brothers with a coat of paint. I do like the new art styles. I'm not saying that they were lazy with this game. Like, that's not what I'm saying. So don't get me wrong on my opinion here. I really enjoyed the game, but I feel like there was just something missing. Something was lacking from Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and I cannot put my finger on it. Maybe it felt like the Flower Kingdom wasn't the most fleshed out world or kingdom that I've seen in the Mario series. Mystic D Chimp says preach. I agree. Wonder is a solid 8. It's a great game, but Tears should definitely be game of the year. I agree with that. So, and I think it's a solid 8, right? But I think that when it came out, people are like, this is the most perfect 2D Mario game ever. But I think it lacked quite a few things. We've had 2D Mario games with more mechanics, like Yoshi and, you know, more mini games, for instance. Well, I don't know, like, I guess the little missions in between could be mini games, but I felt the challenges, there's a lot of hard levels within Super Mario Brothers Wonder, but I felt there was like a lot of different challenges that didn't fulfill their full potential. The badge system I thought was a great idea. You have all of these new mechanics, this vine whip, the spin jump, the double jump, the dolphin swim, all of these things, but they didn't really like flesh them out the way that they could have. I know there's that final level, and maybe I'll beat that today on stream because I haven't beat it yet. I made like maybe one attempt at it and it was way too frustrating, so I didn't bother to do it. But that final level, maybe I'll tackle it today. That's a combination of all the badges that you get throughout the game. But aside from that, like, I felt that other games had more challenge to it. They had more levels that were kind of testing your mettle, but nothing to really like frustrate the player. Something to just incorporate everything that you've learned from your Mario experience that you've learned throughout the game. Wonder doesn't necessarily do that, and it's very short too. The levels, I know there's a lot of levels in this packed with content, but look at this map. I just feel like they didn't innovate too much with these worlds, and that's my problem. I think my favorite one was probably this last area here. I'm not gonna spoil things too much. I'm kind of talking about it a little bit too much, but yeah, like when I was done, I was just like, okay, that was a fun game. And that was kind of it. That was a fun Mario game. But I would have loved to have seen like something that felt different from the Mushroom Kingdom. The Flower Kingdom didn't feel too different aside from the wonder moments, which I thought were great. Every level has a wonder moment and some are better than others. But I do think that they could have done more with this kingdom. It had so much more potential, man. That's my opinion. So I don't know. It's a solid 8 for me. It's not a perfect Mario game, but it's definitely another fun Mario game, and it's very polished. I do love all the new enemies. They should incorporate them more. I hope it's not just a one and done. You know, but I kind of miss the Koopas and all that stuff too. Like, there are Koopas in this game and there are Goombas in the game, but I do miss, like, you know, certain members of Bowser's army within this. But, you know, and then the bosses too. Spoiler alert, if you want to hear about the bosses, I'm not going to spoil the exact bosses, but I'm just saying, like, the only boss in this game really is Bowser Jr. Everything else is, and like a cannon. So a Bowser Jr., a cannon, and then of course Bowser. I guess it's no spoiler that you do fight Bowser, but I know he didn't want the Koopalings, But could we have like a new group of enemies like that you put into this game that are working with Bowser? Like maybe like a flower, like I would love a Flower Kingdom gang, you know, like a gang of evil people from the Flower Kingdom, like the Bowser equivalent in the Flower Kingdom. We could have had them teaming up with Bowser and I wouldn't ask questions. They didn't need a backstory or anything like that. Just like a set, like a gang, like instead of Bowser Jr. over and over again. And then of course it was like the standard, you know, boom boom type of boss battle where you hit him 3 times and then he kind of like does different things. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see a lot of scrutiny for the boss battles, and I would have loved to have seen that. If you're just coming in, welcome. I'm just talking a little bit about Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I'm gonna do a whole video on it, but it's not gonna be a solid review. I think I'm gonna do a combination of a review and lore. So maybe like, you know, I'll talk about the lore of Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I know there's not a lot, so I'll kind of like buckle that in with a review and maybe have a formal video about that. But I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Like, do you guys agree with me or am I being too harsh? There's so many good mechanics in here, so I hope that there's like, I don't know, a DLC pack or like, I don't know, new Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Who knows? But there is so much potential, man. I can't wait to go back to Weed Kingdom. Let's do it. Weed Kingdom. Bro, this was great though. It was a great game and I might do the final level on stream if you guys are interested in that later. Deshaun X saying, remember how Mario 2 came with all the new things? That's what the next game needs. I agree. If you're talking about Super Mario Brothers 2, there's a reason it's completely different. I just realized that the audio was playing for that. If you're talking about Super Mario Brothers 2, I think they took that from Doki Doki Panic, but that has so many mechanics that we see in Mario games to this day. So I get your point when you say that. Gotcha Bear Twins, welcome to the stream. Miss D Chimp saying Breath of the Wild 2 is just a big DLC. New Mario is way better. I see your point. I don't know. I'm not like, I think I don't have time to like really think that through right now. So let me talk. When I talk about Tears of the Kingdom, I'll talk more about Tears of the Kingdom. Sam the Minecraft man, welcome. Saying, hey, what's up, Mentalk? Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. I don't know if this is your first stream, but welcome. Hip Hop Her saying, I love that little flower. Okay, that little flower is probably the best part of the freaking game. If you guys played Super Mario Brothers Wonder, there's like this flower that just appears and it just looks like somebody that just been needing a friend for a very long time. I just love that. It's just like, it's so out of place. At first, I'm just like, why is this thing talking to me? Sometimes even when I hear it speak, it scares the shit out of me because I'm not expecting it to talk or I don't see it. Like, I wonder if like somebody has compiled every single flower encounter in Super Mario Brothers Wonder. If you do that, that video will slap. I just gave you the keys to YouTube right there. Go play Super Mario Brothers Wonder and get that done, and I guarantee you'll get over 1,000 views at least. But I don't know how, like maybe that has potential to be like more, but go try it out. Oh, Pack Attack did it. Pack Attack's my dude, man. He always has like some great gameplay, man. I've used his gameplay more than once, so I always credit my people, by the way. I think Long Play Archives is another one. Those guys are doing God's work for people like me, you know, so I don't have to like play through the entire game or like go back and like find a specific moment. Yeah, like honestly, I would love to sit here and like do all the gameplay myself, but that's like incredibly time consuming on top of writing a script and like cutting stuff up. But maybe once I start like blowing up a little bit more, I'll have more leeway to do it. We'll see. Emily Rose said, anytime I saw people muting the flower, I got legitimately sad. That's part of the experience. You need the flower when you're playing Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Come on. What is it doing to you? What did that flower do to you? It just needs a friend, you know? I swear the flower sounds like Morty from Rick and Morty every so often, especially when it's screaming. Like I always get that Morty vibe. The second thing I wanted to talk about was Sonic Superstars, which I finished recently as well. So this is another off the cuff review. I might make a video on this as well. Definitely not the same amount of polish as Sonic Mania. Definitely not the same amount of polish as Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I'm not really comparing the two, but I kind of am, so I'm guilty of that already. But this is a good idea. in practice. I do think that the multiplayer mode was just a quick way to cash in on like kids. And of course, I think this game is mostly for kids, but then I got to the end and the grueling boss battles in this game. Like there's like toward the end of the game, I was wondering if I was just getting old and like I'm losing my gaming abilities, because this shit got extremely difficult toward the end. And I'm like, yo, what is going on? And then I found out there's an even harder mode that you unlock once you beat that game. Sonic hasn't been mentioned on your channel forever. I always mention Sonic, bro. Let's not get carried away, bro. I have a Sonic video coming out this week, actually. So, hey, for all these Sonic fans that have stuck with me and are still upset that I'm not covering it, I will get back to it, bro. It's just, you know, there's a lot of things like I spent 2.5 years talking about Sonic. And now I think I'm spending like an equal amount of time talking about Nintendo stuff. So I will get back to it. Don't worry. This is why I'm talking about it right now, because I actually played this game. And there's a lot of good ideas here, and it reminds me of Super Mario Brothers Wonder in that sense, where there's a lot of stuff happening here that I think would be great ideas for the future. The Chaos Emeralds have individual powers and power-ups that you can use to enhance Sonic's abilities. That's ingenious, and I love that idea. Brand new stages, a brand new world, brand new set of islands. I do think some of these stages are a little lackluster though, but there's a couple of like decent ones. Like I think one's called Press Factory or something, and it's like a big Eggman steam engine place. I thought that was pretty interesting. I think the bosses are actually more interesting than what's in Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I don't know why I keep comparing it, but I guess the two are fresh on my mind. There's a lot of like cool stuff in here and cool mechanics. But after a while, I found myself like just trying to get it over with. And then when I got to the end, I got more interested again. And then the boss battles got thrown at me, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. This is extremely challenging. So I kind of like have a hate-love relationship with this game. I would give it a 7. So if you're on the fence about this, I don't know, like maybe it's something to decide, like whether this is a 2D Sonic game that you want to invest in. But I thought it was pretty good. Like it's a little on the expensive side. I think this is more of a $40 game, if anything. But I did end up forking over the cash because, you know, content. So maybe at some point I'll also make a review / lore dump on this one too, because there is a story mode. It's somewhat interesting. They introduce a new character too. I didn't fully beat this game. I didn't get to the true ending because I have to play like the hard mode. I have to play the hard mode pretty soon. So there's that. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about this one. So like, well, I'll get a formal review going for this pretty soon. But yeah, what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today was the Game Awards. Encore mode is a journey. I was talking, yeah, like that's the one it's difficult and it's not exactly fun for me either. I don't know, maybe it was late in the night and I just didn't like it, but I need to like really sit down and just like see how I feel about this. I need time, but I will cover the lore of that game as well. And then I still have like I have to do a Mario movie lore video as well. But in the meantime, you guys are getting Kirby stuff and some more streams for Super Mario RPG because I love that game. Bro, the multiplayer in Sonic kind of made me upset. I can't explore without my son just doing what he wants and forcing me to bubble up. Bro, I think like a lot of these games, if the skill level is not like up to par and it doesn't match, it can get a little frustrating overall. Like, and I think that goes for Mario too, but I think Mario has more experience with multiplayer at this point. Especially 2D Mario, where it's not as frustrating as like Sonic Superstars. But yeah, with a high-speed game like Sonic Superstars, I don't think you're gonna get the best multiplayer experience. But that's not why I bought it, and I don't think it should have been like a selling point either. I think they kind of slapped that in too. All right, what did I miss in chat? Also, Name64, welcome to the stream. Sam's asking me for a Topanga video. Who wants to hear about Topanga, man? I think I've talked about Topanga at length, bruv. He's actually talking about Tatango, which is the enemy from Super Mario Land, the alien guy. Like he has 2 appearances, and then maybe somebody from his race is also in another Wario Woods game or something like that. I don't know if I can get much like content out of that. I normally like to make substantial videos, and you know, that's like I don't know. I have to decide like whether that's the route I want to go. Why is my mic bugging again? Every time I'm on stream, it starts bugging. I'm just listening it out right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that static. I had to send it in not too long ago, and it came back fixed and everything was working correctly until like just now. All right, we'll roll with the punches. I have one on Nabbit. Yeah, there's a little bit more to work with on Nabbit than like Tatanga, you know what I mean? And Nabbit I think is more relevant these days. So that's probably why I went with him. I need a more upbeat soundtrack in the back. Let me put that on real quick. 2 hours of autumn Nintendo music. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I need to figure out what's going on with that static, because every time I'm on stream it kicks in. I thought like, and I don't hear it in my videos until I start streaming again, then it starts up again. I don't know what's happening. Like maybe I'm putting my mic to the test. Like maybe I just need to throw out this whole mic, bro. But it's a brand new one. Gosh. All right, so the Game Awards. Let's talk about that. The WarioWare cast would be great. I think so too. There's so many characters in there, but I don't even think they have like much backstory to talk about. But still, I could always like make something. I can be creative. My microphone does hate being on camera. All right, so as you guys know, the Game Awards happened, so I want to talk about that first. Have I tried hitting the reset button? Had I tried turning it off and on again? It's like almost like it's getting feedback from something. Hang on a sec. I have an idea. Okay. Nope, that's even worse. Yeah, it might be my mixer altogether, but whatever. We'll power through this today. We'll power through it. All right, so December 7th is the Game Awards. The nominations were provided this week. Okay, I still have my profile from last year. Like, I'm still logged in and everything. Come on, Game Awards. You need to work on your security here. I should be able to just log in after like months. That's a session that still needs to be closed out for security purposes. Anyway, so let's check out the nominees. Let me do a full screen view here so you guys can see what's going on. I'm gonna vote live here. If you want to do this along with me, I think it would be a fun little activity. It's not distracting, so you're fine. Crunchy sound, yeah, we're gonna power through the crunch. I probably just need I need donations for a whole new mic. I'm gonna e-beg for a brand new mic, bro. Help me, help your boy. Or a brand new mixer. Maybe it's like the mixer entirely. Like they discontinued the Go XLR. I don't know if you guys have seen what my mixer looks like, but I always love showing this thing off because it's like the coolest thing ever. It has all these like cool little lights and all that stuff. And this is where I control like all the audio levels and all that stuff. And even here, like you see little icons with Amy, Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic. I always thought like that's the cool aspect of it, where I can actually program like little logos for each of my volume levels. Hang on. Why is this doing this to me today? Okay, I think that's a little bit better. So yeah, like if I have to throw out this whole mixer, that's gonna be disappointing because this was a lot of money. And I wanted to invest in proper sound tools for streaming, and here we go. They're like failing on me. All right, so let's view all the categories here. So for the Game Awards, I think it's the same categories as last year, but we have Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Score and Music, Best Audio Design, Best Performance, Innovation and Accessibility, Games for Impact. I think like, I mean, some of these are worthy. Best Ongoing, Best Community Support, Best Independent Game, Best Debut Indie Game, Best Mobile Game, Best VR and AR. I don't even know what's popping in the VR era right now. Like I have a whole like Oculus and I've never used it. So like, I don't even know what's going on in this era. I mean, sorry, era is the wrong word. Like in this genre. Best Action Game, Best Action Adventure, Best RPG, Best Fighting Family sim strategy, sports and racing, best multiplayer, adaptation, which I think is mostly like movies and TV shows for video games, which I think is a pretty good category. Most anticipated game, which Elden Ring won for like 2 years in a row. I think I don't know, do you guys agree with this category? Like, what video game are you most excited about? I don't know, like, what if that game is ass? You know, what's the point of this? Like, I got like a most anticipated game and then it comes out and it's shit. Can you imagine, like, oh, we won a game award for most anticipated game and now our freaking our freaking game sucks. Content creator of the year, maybe one day I'll be up there. Best esports game, best esports athlete. They call them esports athletes? Okay, I'm not gonna argue with that. Best esports team, best esports coach, and best esports events. I'm not part of, like, I've never been into esports whatsoever. Like, I respect esports as a whole, but there's like 10 categories for this, or I'm exaggerating, but like 5 categories for esports, and every time it comes up, I have no idea who they're talking about or what game they play. I mean, hype is pretty important for a game's life cycle. Look at Smash Brothers reveal trailers. Yeah, but you know, Smash Brothers is Smash Brothers, right? And it's always gonna be polished. It's not gonna be exactly like, I don't know, maybe most anticipated is kind of like proportionate with the reputation of the game company that's making it. So like, maybe that's like, you know, a moot point overall, but who knows? Maybe this, we'll see what's in this category in a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and start from the top. Give my thoughts on each. And I will vote, like, if I haven't played a certain game on this list, I will vote the things I have played. I think some people like look at these things, they're like, hey, like, I don't feel qualified to vote for this because I've never played one of these games. I won't do that unless I've never played like a majority or something. So we'll deal with it on a case-by-case basis. Let's see, I've played Mario Kart since I was a kid and it has never disappointed me, except the 4th place in the Mario Kart game. You get bombed. I'm not sure which game you're talking about. Why is the N in Nutella black? What am I reading right now? Okay, so oh yeah, the FNAF movie not being in the adaptation nominations is a crime. Why is that not there? It's more of an actual adaptation than Gran Turismo. Yes. I guess I'll talk more about that when I get to it and how I feel about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. That's another thing that we needed to catch up on. And also the live action Zelda movie that was announced. So maybe when I'm done with that, I'll go look at an article for Zelda movie news. Because I think that's a pretty damn important announcement there. Also, Danger Dave, welcome to the stream. I remember you. All right, so game of the year. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. So this is an all-around best game of the year. Alan Wake 2 is the only one on this list I have not played. By Remedy Entertainment. I think there's just like so much that I would have to play before actually playing Alan Wake 2 to understand it. Apparently, you would have to play Alan Wake, the original one, and I don't know where I can find that game now. I think they ported it. But the alternative, like, you have to play that to kind of get the full context of this game, right? I mean, it's Alan Wake 2, of course, but I think the second game you have to play is Control, which I didn't know was connected to the Alan Wake universe at all. So I feel like when I started playing Control, I was missing out on the context of Alan Wake. I don't know. So apparently both those games are tied into Alan Wake 2, and if you don't play those, then you're not gonna get the full context and the full meaty juice of Alan Wake 2. But people have been saying a lot of great things about this game, so I don't know. Like, I want to see what. I'll eventually get to this, but yeah, I'm not gonna vote for it out of the idea that I never played it. Baldur's Gate 3 is turning a lot of heads, and I feel, here's my opinion on Baldur's Gate. I think it's a phenomenal game. I think it's a phenomenal RPG. But the thing is, like, I've always been into the top-down genre of like RPGs and just all types of RPGs. Like, I've played quite a few of these types of RPGs in the past. Divinity 2 is the one that I think is the most recent one prior to Baldur's Gate 3. So I think, but Baldur's Gate 3, I do think it's a great entryway into that type of experience. But the amount of people that I hear talking about it, it kind of astounds me that everybody would be into this type of game. Like, I feel like it's a very niche type of RPG that not everybody's gonna like. It has very, very deep Dungeons and Dragons mechanics embedded into it too, which I don't think is for everybody either. Does everybody want to worry about stats and like what you have to roll, like what character stats you have to focus on and things like that? And these aren't like negative things regarding this game, don't get me wrong. I just feel like there was just so much hype behind it. I cannot fathom that the mainstream gaming community actually played this game. I think that there's definitely an overlap, like gamers that were interested in trying out a new genre and trying this out. But I also feel like there's a lot of people on Twitter that are full of shit and they look at reviews and then they'll like just not really play a game and just say how great a game is without playing it. That's my opinion. But aside from that, Baldur's Gate is a phenomenal game. I think it gets a 9 out of 10 for me. I haven't even finished it personally. I'm in the last act. I need to go out there, go back into it, bite the bullet, and get it done. But there's like so many different pathways. I found out that a crucial character from in my campaign just died, and it was from a bug too or something. I don't know. Like, I was supposed to go into like some mansion, and they were supposed to wait outside, and then they rushed the place and got killed by everybody. Like, no shit, I told you wait outside and you didn't. And apparently like they're a major character later on in the later act. So I'm like, I'm not going back to save you. So I moved on. And that's kind of where I'm sitting with Baldur's Gate right now. I'm wondering how much plot I'm missing because of it, but at this point I don't care. Like, I want to get to the end, and I think that the writing is amazing. This took a very long time to make. This is a diamond. I think diamond in the rough is the wrong word, but this is something that's been like taken years of dedication, and a very passionate team worked on this. So I honestly think that Game of the Year will be Baldur's Gate 3, but it is not my Game of the Year. It is not. It was a hard decision, but it's not. This is a solid 9 out of 10 for me, but it's not my Game of the Year. Marvel Spider-Man 2, I just got done playing when I got back from my long ass trip, and that's another game that I had to play. So like all of these things on the docket while I was here editing videos and writing scripts, I managed to get through. I guess Super Mario Brothers Wonder is done. Sonic Superstars is more or less done. I gotta finish that. Spider-Man 2, I actually sat there, bit the bullet, and finished because it's a narrative game. I got to the end of it. I think that the combat is so smooth and it's amazing, and it is a fun experience. But it is definitely has moments where it's rough around the edges, both plot-wise and I think like when you're just running around New York. I think that New York is perfected, by the way. Like, I think the way that they have the city is awesome. But I do remember like different things from the previous games that they just kind of scrapped in this one. I think that the side quests were a little bit more fun in the first couple of games. I'm including Miles Morales in that. I think side quests were a little bit better in those. I think more villains could have been utilized, like as little side missions as well, like they did in the first game. But when it finally got to the climax, the whole black suit and Venom, I think were very well done. Even though like I think the ending was a little bit rushed. I'm not gonna spoil it for you on stream, for those who are still playing it. But I think between the two Spider-Men, there could be a little bit more diversity in movesets. I think they tried to do it, but at the end of the day, I didn't really feel like I was doing those different things. So I think they need to improve it a little bit more, or have like different battle mechanics with a focus on Peter, for instance. And then if you have Miles, it should kind of shift gameplay a little bit more. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I love the characterization. I love the plots. People are like ripping this to shreds now that it's been out for a while. I don't know. I think that they should work more on the side quest though. That's my end decision on that. This gets a solid 8 for me overall. I think graphics wise it's a 9. I think gameplay is the 8 part. I think after a while like the combat just kind of grew stale for me, and there's not enough innovation toward it in my opinion, and probably like I don't know, arguably less deep than the first two games. You agree with me, right? Yes. So okay, I feel like I'm trying not to be too harsh at the same time, because I like, but I just feel like I'm a harsh critic these days. Curse Fetus said Legend of Zelda has an army of fans. I think that will win, and I'm spending more time on this category than the others, by the way. So like a lot of this, like we'll breeze through these categories in a little bit. Resident Evil 4, it's a remade Resident Evil. Like, I sat here, I'd played a little bit on stream, but like I really enjoy Resident Evil experiences. I think they're honestly like the best games to play on stream for whatever reason. I'm always looking for a good streaming game. Some of these just don't fit. I think like Sonic Superstars wouldn't have been good for on stream. I think even Mario Brothers Wonder after a while probably wouldn't have been good for a streaming game. Resident Evil is like just stressful enough where you could stream it, and it's like it's pretty fun to do. Overall, I like the experience. I played the DLC recently too, Separate Ways with Ada Wong. Capcom's killing it. But is this my game of the year? I don't think so. Fun game. I'd give it a solid 8, close to a 9, like borderline 9. But the fact that I don't have much to say about it overall, like it's Resident Evil, like there isn't much to say. It's great. Resident Evil's fun, always fun. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I gave my thoughts about this. It's an 8 for me. I honestly don't think this should have been here as a game of the year contender. What would I put here instead? Probably a game I spent a lot of time on this year that I probably would have put here instead, and I can't think of it right now. If it comes to me, then maybe I'll put it here. But like, you know, I'm not surprised it's here, but as game of the year, like maybe it's a stretch. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, that is indeed my game of the year. I had to evaluate this over a ton of different criteria. Like, I do think there's a lot of things that they dropped from Breath of the Wild, and I do think that the game has like way too much padding to it. Like, I don't think we needed Hyrule to be as like massive as it was. Like, Hyrule is massive enough. If they just changed Hyrule in a sense and just like built on it, and less stables and more villages, which arguably that was the case. I think I would have been good with that, and then like have more things packed in like Yakuza style. But I think overall, like, this might be my game of the year. I spent so much time playing this game this year, and even though it feels like a very safe sequel to Breath of the Wild, I love that they overhauled the mechanics entirely. Like, it's not the same type of mechanics that you're using initially. I loved the temples this time around. Like, I love the original Breath of the Wild temples, but the Tears of the Kingdom temples hit a little different after a while. Like, I'm literally sitting there engineering puzzles and stuff, and then when I got it, like, I had this dumb smile on my face every time that I got done with a temple, you know? Like, I figured it out. Like, I think I had to look up maybe 1 or 2, but for the most part, I actually challenged myself to get through this, and it was the chillest part of the year for me. So sitting here and doing all of that, and then like finally saying, all right, I'm gonna go beat Ganon, and then playing the game itself, like the story, I do think that it was a little bit more shallow than it was marketed, but at the same time, there's a level of polish here that I really enjoyed. Again, they need to focus more like on dungeons. I think they need to improve their dungeons, man. If this is going to be the formula going forward, that's all I ask. Like, if you're going to have a certain amount of dungeons, which I think they tried, like, this is a little bit better than Breath of the Wild's dungeons, but not by a lot. I really want like a really standard Zelda, like, go in, get the keys, here's the boss key type of approach. Build like 4 big massive dungeons like that onto your current open world, and I would be so happy. I would be a happy camper, bruv. But overall, I thought about it. This is definitely my game of the year, so I'm gonna vote for that. My guess for game of the year though is Baldur's Gate 3, and the reason is that it's very diverse. I think what they try to do every year, I don't know how game of the year works. I don't even think it's based off of our votes. I honestly think that votes kind of like give it some weight, but at the end of the day, like, a lot of these people who nominated it are the ones that put it through at the end of the day. But Baldur's Gate, I think, is the one that's gonna take it. But by a very, very close margin, this is my second game of the year this year. Legend of Zelda takes it for me. Very good job, Nintendo. But I am ready for something new the next time around. Use what you've learned from these 2 games and just overhaul it, man. Like, you can like simplify this open world stuff. And if they like, you know, slim it down, but give me more things to do, Yakuza style, I'd be happy with that. I think that'd be like a more populated world, but also like the countryside, and also like some heavy dungeons, and maybe like a brand new type of Hyrule. I think that's where the Zelda series should go. But that's just me. Has it been my phone this whole time? Oh, it's my phone. My phone was doing the crackling. I thought that was like some 2008 shit. Why am I, what? Okay, so my phone was next to the back of my mixer the whole time, and that was causing some interference. I fixed it. I'm sorry for the crackling this whole time. That's great. Now I don't have to put in, I don't have to set my mic back for the 30th time. All right, so cool. If you guys are just joining me, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Men Talk stream. Everybody, round of applause for you joining today. Hope you've been enjoying the videos. A lot more content coming. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but I'm going through the Game Awards nominees. Let me know what you think about these people and like these games. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in here this year. It's been a phenomenal year for gaming. I know that's been like oversaid and overdone, but it has been good. This year has been good compared to last year, which I thought last year was great too, in my opinion. But we're off to a great end to the year. So I'm hoping 2024 follows this up with games. I think like all the stuff, all the delays from COVID-19 are formulating into these games that we're seeing now. So finally, I think that the industry has fully recovered from the pandemic, because I think there was like, it was understated the impact that COVID-19 had on a lot of these games and development and things like that, and film. Like I think now, like lately, you're now getting like the films and TV series and movies that were filmed outside of COVID-19. Unfortunately, there's this huge strike for how long, so that's going to affect your films there now. But now that those strikes are over, I think like, you know, we're going all out with all of that stuff. Mio Kone, what is going on? Long time. I can't believe it's almost 2024. I know, bruv. Ugh, Emily. Time is going by, man. This last birthday, I felt like legit for the first time. I felt like an old man. Like I've made jokes about this in the past, but like, you know, this the years are starting to fly by a little too fast for me, man. I need to slow things down. I need more experiences. I don't know if I've said this on stream before, but if you feel like the years are flying by and like things are going too fast, it's a combination of you experiencing like repetition and you getting older. Like when you're a kid, like you're receiving more information, so things feel like a lot slower in how you perceive things. So time is relative to that. But another thing is like if you're an adult, you got to experience as many new things as possible, and now like kind of like mentally stretch out the time that you have. So it's not gonna help everybody, but that's my advice to you. Like experience as many new things in life as you can. Start a new hobby. Start YouTubing. Maybe we'll collab one day. You know what I'm saying? And you won't feel like me. I'm still gonna be Grandpa Mentalk. Well, you know what? Like I'm similar age to like Markiplier and PewDiePie and that wave of YouTubers, so I don't feel too bad. Like they'll never be older than me. They'll never be younger than me either. So you know, there you go. Tons of industries were affected. I'm a huge theme park and roller coaster enthusiast, and it hit that industry really hard. I honestly think that we're not out of it yet. Like we're still bouncing back economically, financially, and like in like little things like travel. And I'm going to Japan now, and like so much has changed since the last time I went in 2019. Like the amount of things that I had to prepare for, and everything's like digital now, but you have to go like sign up for an app and do a bunch of stuff. This is happening around the world, and honestly I think this is just, some things are just not going away. But hey, I think we learned a lot from it. I just think we were in such a hurry to just get out of pandemic mode, or not even enter a pandemic in the first place, that we got really screwed by that pandemic. Like I think this is like, it's an understatement how much it's affected people mentally, socially, financially. Like we don't talk about it a lot now, but it's like definitely still like embedded into our culture. It's wild. It's crazy. So yeah. Kids live in the moment, as we should too, just saying. Yes, basically, like somebody summed up, Hip Hop Harry summed up my comment in like 2 sentences or 1 sentence. I'm planning to go to Japan in 2024. I'm trying to catch the Sonic Symphony. I'm trying to do that like in the United States sometime next year. I won't be able to catch it the dates that they have this year, but yeah, like enjoy the Japan trip. I hear they're like overloaded with tourists right now. So I'm not looking forward to that. I was there before it was cool is kind of like what I've been saying, but you know, I'm not gonna be like an elitist about it. Like it's a very awesome country, and I'm glad more people are experiencing the wonders over there. It's very different. You go to like Europe, if you're an American and you go to Europe, it's kind of like a very similar vibe, and like the historical aspects there too are like very similar to like Americans too. It's like churches, cathedrals. We don't have a lot of cathedrals in the United States, but you know, you kind of know what that culture is like, and you learn about it your whole life. You gotta really like culture shock yourself. Go to Japan, go to China, go to India, go to Malaysia. Like experience those things if you're like not from Asian culture or something like that, or even the Middle East, like Dubai and all that stuff. It's a culture shock overall. Anyway, all right, best game direction. I'm gonna go through these again. I'm not gonna really like, you know, harp on how like what these games are anymore. I'm just gonna make my choices here. So Alan Wake 2. Honestly, like I've heard great things about the game direction here. It's a shame that I haven't played it, so I can't weigh on it. Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom. All right, so what does best game direction mean? Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Creative vision and innovation. Yeah, then this goes to Baldur's Gate for me. Hands down. I think that because it's so niche and it like perfected not only the interactive D&D formula, but like the top-down RPG formula, the isometric RPG formula, but also has like such an engaging story that like newcomers can experience. Like it's not easy to make these types of games newcomer friendly. There's a lot of like mechanics that you have to learn, and it eases you into those where it's not overwhelming. I think the story is great. Like every conversation is interesting to me. The characters are interesting. Some of them are complete assholes, but they're still interesting. So Baldur's Gate takes it for me. I actually really want to play this game again with some friends. Like I'm doing a solo run. When I beat that, I would love to bring in like a campaign with a couple of friends and like see how the experiences differ with that. Baldur's Gate 3 should also Zombie Souffle. Welcome, bro. Oh, we out here tonight. It's been a Tuesday. We out here. What's going on, Zombie? Good to see you here. Baldur's Gate 3 should win for best love interests. I agree with that too, though. Like these are like the deepest. I don't know. Well, okay. So these characters are extremely horny. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was playing, you know, like, look, when I play these types of games, I'm just like, there's no consequences for me. Like, there's no consequences for my characters sleeping with every person possible, or getting a date with every person in this game possible. Like, whenever I play Persona, I'm like, can I date everybody? That's my mindset, because you know, there's no real life consequences to it. So why the fuck not? But Baldur's Gate, like, I don't know, like, they said it was a bug, but these characters come on so strong, where even I was like, bro, I can't do this right now. Like, I'm trying to save the world and you're here like sneaking into my tent at night. What do like like I literally said one sentence to you and you said you're telling me that you've never felt this way about somebody before, and you're trying to get your freak on with me. Baldur's Gate 3, you're wild for that, and you get a point. You get an extra point for me for that one. So all right, whether it's a bug or not, like, it's a fun bug. That's like, if you have me like on edge with some of these people and I think they're coming on too strong, that's crazy. It's worse than Witcher levels of horn. It's like, at least like you get through like a whole quest, like 3 quest lines with those characters. I mean, well, some of them it's just one quest line, and then Geralt's like just bangs them at the end. So maybe it's similar to that. Like your main party members are like the side quests for Geralt, versus like a Triss or a Yennefer or whatever. It's that level. All right, best narrative. So for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Ooh, we got some spicy ones on here. Okay, we got some spicy ones on here. Can I have something more upbeat? Sometimes Nintendo like has some. That's another thing I want to talk about with Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Was anyone else disappointed by that soundtrack? Like, I love the initial soundtrack and that intro song, Ba do 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 ba do ba do ba, and then that was literally the melody for the whole game. There's like 8 remixes of that one song. I'm like, Mario, bro, come on. We're doing better than this. We have to do better than this. I'm gonna put on some Sonic music today. Let's put on some Sonic chill music. Ba do do ba do 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 ba. Like they got the Bee Gees to sing for them. Cause we're living in a world of hope, breaking us down. I don't even know if that's like the lyrics, but you know the song. That's what I get reminded of every time I hear it. The underground music does slap. I agree. Like there's a couple bangers in Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I'm not saying that it was bad all the way through. Even the melody I just sang I thought was a banger, and it was very refreshing. We finally got out of the bwop bwop era from New Super Mario Brothers. But yeah. Whoever composed it, man, come on, we gotta do more next time. Okay, yeah, Sonic chill music hits a lot different. So let's put that in the background. All right, best narrative. So no Mortal Kombat won for best story. I didn't even know oh, Mortal Kombat must be in here though. There's best fighting game, so I think we're gonna get to that at some point. Okay, so we have Alan Wake 2 for best narrative. I haven't played it, so I don't know. Let me put this back in the big screen. All right, Baldur's Gate 3, which I think is a contender for best narrative. Though I haven't finished it, I honestly think it's well written, so there's that. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. I think, so we're not including Cyberpunk 2077 as a story. I just finished, this is another game that I freaking played. I played this like when I got back from my trip as well. So can you imagine? I had to juggle all of this and write scripts and work and stuff. It's been a busy month. Phantom Liberty, I think, was well executed, but I prefer the main. I prefer the main campaign. I think the main campaign was better overall. I do love my boy Idris. Idris, what do you think? I don't think that you won best narrative over here. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bruv. It wasn't you this time. So, but I do recommend, if you guys have not pulled the trigger on Cyberpunk 2077, it is a totally different game than it was when it released back in 2020. It's been 3 years since that game dropped, or is it 2021 Cyberpunk dropped? I think it was 2021. So it's been 2 years since this game dropped, but it is much better now. Go ahead and enjoy that. Like, if you have not touched Cyberpunk 2077, it's worth every penny. Get it with the DLC and just enjoy the ride. It's a great game. I wish that it released this way, but I needed the time anyway. So yeah. XLR08 F8 vibing, bruv. We out here, man. Welcome to the stream. It is a vibe. I haven't done a chill stream in a while. Normally I'm up here playing video games, but today, like, we're just chilling, bro. Like, I want to get through these nominees and see how I feel about my choices. The J Jazz band T Square should make new music for Mario, as they did inspire most of Mario's well-known tracks. That I don't discuss a lot of that in my video, but I wouldn't be surprised. And Koji is not. I don't think Koji is composing anymore either. His name is on these, and I really feel like he's a senior officer at Nintendo, so I think he's just cashing checks. I think he's cashing checks right now. My guy's like, I did my part. I did all that Zelda and Mario shit. I just gotta sit here and just nod and just say, yeah, it sounds good to me. The fact that a composer is a senior officer at a game studio in the first place is crazy. All those like old guys are pretty much like at the top of Nintendo right now. So I think Nintendo has a great way of like how they operate as a company. I think it's like 98% retention of their employees, 98 or 99. Like they never lay people off. I think like you must get fired if you're not doing well, but if you are 98, 99% retention, that's phenomenal for a company. Especially the way that gaming companies lay people off these days. It's pretty dope. Ethereal Dragon. I'll get back. Okay, so Ethereal is asking me when am I doing the Sonic cookbook videos. Just as a quick tangent, I did actually invest in the Sonic the Hedgehog official cookbook. This is something that was actually endorsed by Sega, and they got Ian Flynn to write like the flavor text. So not only is it just recipes inspired by Sonic, which there's only so much food you can think of. Well, Sonic Unleashed was one. They had a ton of food and chili dogs. There's definitely chili dog recipes in here, but there's a lot of other cool things in this book. I haven't had the time to really crack it open and try out these recipes, but it's very diverse, and I'm actually very surprised at how much cool stuff is in this book, like homemade donuts. Who has homemade donuts in a cookbook and all that? So like, it's a lot of cool stuff, and each of these recipes are like backed by one of the characters, and they have like information, like little flavor text about each of these stuff, and they all have unique names, like Bangle Bagels, which these bagels are like in the shape of Sonic rings and things like that. Or and this is something that Amy would like to eat. And Leaf Swirl Salad from Espio, but they also have like, I don't know, there's just so much. There's so much in here. So I plan on doing a video on this, and probably getting like an entree or a couple of drinks and doing it for you in a video. Because the last time I made a chili dog, everybody said that I did it wrong. So like, I just followed a recipe, bro. As far as I'm concerned, I executed that recipe perfectly, but it probably wasn't the best recipe on the internet. So that was my mistake. So now that I have an official chili dog recipe in a Sonic cookbook, then maybe I'll school you guys this time around, you know? I don't want to hear no complaining in the comments section about the quality of my food. I just so many chili dogs and onion rings. So yeah, there's different types of chili dogs in there too, so it's not just limited to one. I'd love to do a cooking stream. I don't even know how I'd set that up in my kitchen, bro. That sounds like a nightmare. Like all those people who actually have a house with like the freaking pot on the island and the stove and things like that. Like I envy those people, because that's awesome. But I guess I would have to stream on a laptop, which I don't even know if I perfected my laptop with streaming. I'll probably have to get like a G'd up laptop to put in my kitchen to properly stream that. I don't know. I'd have to think of what the logistics would look like, but if I could pull that off, I would definitely do it, because I could just sit there and eat shit and get drunk while I'm cooking and probably burn my apartment down like all these other amateur streamers. I'm just kidding. I'm a decent cook at the end of the day. How do you make a chili dog wrong? Yeah, they were saying I should have just gone out and bought like the Hormel cans and just put it in there. I'm just like, but that destroys the point. Like I wanted to do it from scratch, and so like I took out some of the ingredients that I didn't want in there, like, you know, a bunch of different, like, I forget what it was, but there was like a ton of like extra shit that I didn't want to put in there. And so for the most part, I followed the recipe and it came out exactly like that. And it was pretty tasty too. It wasn't even that bad, but I'll do it the official Sonic way next time, and I'll eat it regardless of how I feel about chili dogs. I forgot there's a FNAF cookbook too. I'll get to FNAF. I'll talk a little bit about FNAF. See, that's another thing that happened, man. There's so many topics. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. Let's reel it in. Game Awards. Best narrative. Is the FNAF book cookbook? I'm getting sidetracked again. So I have a Final Fantasy 14 cookbook. I never talked about that on stream because I don't really talk about Final Fantasy a lot on here, but which I will in a second. I'm a big Final Fantasy 14 fan. I was heavy into that game. I think I'm like up to Endwalker. I beat Endwalker, but I haven't gotten past that yet with the latest patches. But they had a cookbook made by the same person who made this one and organized it, Victoria Rosenthal. So she will contract with the game companies and develop these cookbooks. I don't know if FNAF got her to do it as well. So someone confirm that to me. If not, then I'll just look it up on Google and see. But she's found her niche, bruv. Like that's one way to make some money. Just capitalize on recipes from all these game franchises. Anyway, all right. So best narrative, Final Fantasy 16. This game really appealed to me. I don't know what it was. I would say this is the game that should have been in Game of the Year in place of Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I'm a little disappointed that it wasn't there. And I do think that gameplay wise, I think that it was a little bit shallow. Like there could have been more gameplay elements, but I think this is one of the best written This game has some of the best written characters in the Final Fantasy series, outside the original like 1 through 10. Just lately, like, you know, like I love 13, I like 14. Actually, no, 14 is great too, like don't get me wrong. But 15 was a little lackluster. I think it had a lot of potential and just didn't stick the landing. So when 16 came out and I saw they tried to take a much more mature and political approach with a lot of this, like it really spoke to me. Though I do feel parts of this game were rushed. But I do think this was the story for me this year. Spider-Man 2 was great, but I felt like they played it safe a lot of the times. It's tough, but I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy 16. This is the one that really got me into it, and I wanted to eat up every single piece of this lore. Baldur's Gate is another one that's great, but for me, my personal preference, Final Fantasy 16 takes it. Best narrative. All right. Next. I'm really like going slow through these categories. Best art direction. Man, Alan Wake really got like, who paid off? Who from Alan Wake paid them off? I'm just kidding. I don't know if I'm downplaying how good Alan Wake is too, because I didn't play this game. This came out like last week, bro. I saw a funny tweet. It's like, yo, I just bought this game and it's got like so many awards. How did y'all finish this game and vote for it? I think the Game Awards is just, I think the Game Awards personally should be in January, because so many games come out in October, November, and December for the holidays that people can't really like chew on a lot of these titles. There's no time, you know? So like, how do I like, you know, and then like some games that release earlier in the year are like less fresh on the mind than others that like just come out. So how do people feel about Super Mario Brothers Wonder in like 4 months time versus right now when it just came out and everybody's like going goo goo gaga for it? I don't know. I think that like Jeff puts on a great show, Jeff Keighley, and this is gonna be the 10th anniversary, but I think he should push it out to January. Like the Oscars are in the middle of February or March or whatever. I think it needs some time. So I think December is a bit harsh. But Hi-Fi Rush, I honestly might go with that one because I think that game is gorgeous. Let's see, what do you guys think? 16 was a surprisingly good story. Okay, somebody agrees with me there. I haven't played past 13. You gotta at least play 16 Zombie if you can. Lies of P is just Pinocchio Souls, but the art direction is top tier. I need to look at this. So Lies of P is on my list, and I think this is one of the breakouts right now. This Lies of P deserves an award for taking on the Souls formula and actually executing it well. And I think these are like a new set of developers too, which is promising. I need some more like new developer teams to come out and start knocking it out the park. So like Lies of P, I think is a very promising game. Francesco Gualtieri, I probably butchered that name. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for joining Team Mentalk. Your heart says Baldur's Gate, but I know Wonder's gonna get it. For Game of the Year? I don't know, man. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna get it because they always go with like something more diverse than the year before it. I think they're all about like upsetting things sometimes. I mean, well, I don't know. They've had Last of Us a couple of times. I think it was Last of Us Part 2 that was Game of the Year. But there's been a couple of surprises. Like I think Sekiro is a surprise. What was it last year? What was last year's Game of the Year? I definitely guessed it right last year. Game of the Year 20. It wasn't God of War. It was the Elden Ring. Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring deserved it. There were like the other one was God of War. That was like the only other possible one. I think Elden Ring deserved it overall. But that'd be two Game of the Year awards for From Software. So they're not in the lineup this year. I'm surprised Armored Core wasn't there. Anyway, Hi-Fi Rush, I think we'll get this award for art direction. I think it's a beautiful game. If you guys haven't seen it before, it reminds me of like an old Mega Man type of game, Mega Man Legends type of stuff, plus Jet Set Radio. I think they did a good job here. I think Cyberfunk, what's it called? Cyberfunk Bomb Rush. I always forget the name of that game. Should have been here as well. Lies of P. Let me see if I want to vote for Lies of P. Let me look at the trailer for Lies of P real quick. I want to determine if it wins over Hi-Fi Rush for me, but maybe I gotta play like, I have to play Lies of P. I'm not gonna put any spoilers. I'm just gonna look at like the first 30 minutes of it. Like, where does the art direction come in exactly? Is it with the boss design? Is it like the world itself? Those are all things that should be considered. Man, this reminds me a lot of Bloodborne. I'm getting heavy Bloodborne vibes from this. Okay, I see. I see. You know, the fact that it just looks so much like Souls, I'm not knocking the art direction here, but that's the leg up for me. I'm gonna put Hi-Fi Rush because it just looks more like Bloodborne than anything else. So like for an original like concept and art direction, I'm not saying Hi-Fi Rush is totally original, but I think this is the standout for me. So I'm gonna go with that. Super Mario Brothers Wonder is a pretty game. I like the animations, I like the fluffiness, but it's like I don't know. It's still gonna be a Hi-Fi Rush. Zelda. This is a hard choice, man. This is a hard choice. Hi-Fi Rush is a blast. One of my all-time faves. Baldur's Gate is so good. Yeah, I think it's gonna get Game of the Year, bruv. Asterion will win over the people for Game of the Year. Armored Core is another good one. More niche. Wish I could get into Souls likes. I think it's an overall thing that Bloodborne aesthetic is what does it, and the dark fairy tale aspect. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Hi-Fi Rush. This is my gut. For best art direction, so we'll see. Like, I can't even sit here and tell you which ones, like, when it comes out. Like, you guys are gonna have to watch this with me and your hearts. And just remember what I picked. I'll probably write it out and post it in a tweet while I'm in Japan. But I won't be able to watch the Game Awards, unfortunately. Boss design and their version of the Blue Fairy. But Lies of P is on my list. I gotta play it before the end of the year. Maybe that'd be a nice like finisher for like December. You know, like I like to snuggle in when it gets a little colder down here and like start playing the game that probably came out like before. Like Yakuza. Yakuza series is my like comfort zone, you know? I like to really settle in and play those. And a recent one came out, like a shorter one came out before the Infinite Wealth game that comes out next winter, I think, or next spring. That game apparently is like super massive. So those are like, those are my guilty pleasures, man. Games are the best to snuggle with, indeed. Okay. Best score and music. I'm annoyed that Sonic Frontiers didn't make this list, man. Again, like with the DLC, it should be on this list. If Genshin Impact made it, wait, no, Genshin didn't make score and music. It was viewer's choice. I feel like they didn't even put that category in here because it was so toxic last year. I think they skipped it overall this year. Yeah, I'm saying Yakuza, but it's Like a Dragon now, so I should correct myself. I should be I should go with Sega's rebranding here. Like a Dragon is dope. Baldur's Gate has good music. I still listen to Baldur's Gate 2 soundtrack. So I really enjoy Baldur's Gate 3. Normally I don't like the like fairy tale Western influence of certain things. I'm not saying that, oh, if I like this, it has to be Japanese. No, that's what I'm saying. But I think there's a different approach sometimes depending on the type of game. Like Nintendo games, for instance, will make music based on the experience. So when it says score, I think like the score is what goes along with like the cinematics. And then the music is like the soundtrack. So Sonic Frontiers, I think, is a soundtrack. It's a banger. Like I can just listen to it while I'm walking around. But last year, like they voted God of War, and I'm like, God of War sets the tone and the mood, but I'm not like walking on the street listening to it in my headphones like, oh, this God of War, I gotta put this on. I don't remember a single God of War song or name, like aside from like the major themes and stuff. While like Sonic and Nintendo soundtracks I'm playing all the time because there's like a certain like aspect to it that's like very chill and like puts you in a mood. So I think there's a purpose for everything. So I guess, I don't know. And on top of that, they count licensed soundtracks in this. That's not fair. So if I pay a certain amount of money and I get Michael Jackson's Thriller in there, I can be nominated for this. I don't know. I personally, I think this is like, I think we got to narrow down like the scope of this award. But it says for outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack, which is so weird to me. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, I think won this like a few years ago, which as much as I enjoy that game, if you guys haven't played the Guardians of the Galaxy game, it's like, it blew my expectations away. It's just a bunch of 80s songs, a bunch of 80s, like popular 80s song. And then everything in between is like standard Marvel shit. Like, you know, that heroic shit that you hear in all superhero video games. But the license choice was great, but all you do is pay royalties and then you have the best soundtrack out of all these people who actually sat there and composed it. Nah, I'm not about that, bruv. I don't know. Hi-Fi Rush might get it for me, by the way. I don't know. Well, Hi-Fi Rush doesn't have licensed music. I think they brought in indie artists. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, so like that's like an in-between, right? So if you're playing like You Got the Touch and Michael Jackson's Thriller like on one game, I have an issue with that like for this award. But for Hi-Fi Rush, like the sound choice was very intentional and they selected it amongst like artists that collaborated with them. So like they paid royalties to these artists, but I think they collaborated with them to make the Hi-Fi Rush. So I think that's the difference there. But Baldur's Gate is good. Let me start with that. Baldur's Gate was good. I think Final Fantasy 16 might take it from me because that shit really set the tone for me. There's quite a few bangers in there too. Hi-Fi Rush, I think deserves best score and music in a sense too, because it incorporated those songs into gameplay. That's the tough part that I'm having figuring out. Hi-Fi is all covers. I swear there's actual tracks from their albums. No, there's original tracks. It's a mixture of the two. I think the boss ones are the actual songs that they pulled from certain artists. Everything else is original. Man, but it fits. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom shouldn't be here. Tears of the Kingdom shouldn't be here, man. As much as I love Zelda music, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is so minimalistic. There's there's a few good tracks. I'm not saying it's bad, but there's like a few good tracks, but otherwise it's so like ambient and like there's just a quiet aesthetic to it that I don't think it should be here. Personally, that's my personal opinion. All right, this was a tough one, but I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy 16. There's some good stuff. I'm gonna go with that. I just gotta make a choice. If anyone disagrees, you're welcome to go ahead and put in your own votes. I'm not knocking it. These are actually very great choices overall. Best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. For this, I'm gonna go with Hi-Fi Rush. I managed to play Dead Space. Oh, that was another good one. This Dead Space remake is awesome. Audio design overall had me looking around like it. Dead Space is a contender, but that's not it. It's not it for me. Alan Wake 2, bro. Has Alan Wake been in every category that we've talked about so far? This has to be like, this must be the best game of the year if it has like so many nominations. I gotta play this now, but I feel like I'm gonna have no clue what's going on. Spidey Boy, welcome to the stream. The wordplay makes a good point. Hi-Fi Rush is in a weird spot because there are licensed songs, but also non-licensed versions of the songs. That is how it was. I totally forgot about that. So a lot of these games are tailoring these games to streaming, which I like too. Like if you're streaming the game, you can put non-licensed music, but it just doesn't hit the same sometimes. I think Hi-Fi Rush actually like really put in effort in that regard, which is why I think it's a close second for me on best score and music, because they did both. So yeah, thanks for that reminder, wordplay. It's been a really long time since I played the game. Like I didn't even think I finished the end. Like I'm at the end, but I didn't even finish it. One of my favorite games of the year though, which is why I think I want to give best audio design to them. Spider-Man was pretty decent, but like I don't remember it for sound design. Resident Evil 4 I think was also pretty damn good. Like the atmosphere, the rain, the sound of people screaming in Spanish. but it's gonna be hi-fi rush for me. You guys definitely should check out this game if you haven't. If you're into like, you know, like the chill games from the PS2 era where you're running around and I don't know, like rhythm-based games, like something like that, plus adventure mode, plus like, you know, like a contained story, level by level, Devil May Cry type of action, like that game's for you. You've seen nothing of Alan Wake 2, right? I remember like seeing like 2 presentations with Alan Wake and now it's fucking everywhere. This is crazy to me. Ugh. My goodness. I gotta play Alan Wake before I start talking shit and somebody gets me in trouble. I don't know. You don't respect true art, Mentok. Okay, so best performance. Ben Starr, man. This guy's a really cool dude. He's been actually going to Twitter and other social media stuff and just like he'll like do fan requests to say things in Clive's voice. But I think he did do a great job with Clive. I actually think Clive came across as somebody who was brooding to me in the advertisements, but when you play the game, he feels very like relatable. And I had no issues with him. He's actually one of my favorite protagonists in the Final Fantasy series for a while. I think Noctis needed some work. Warrior of Light from Final Fantasy 14, that's basically you, so like you're a stand-in for the character, so I'm not gonna count that. 13, like Lightning was just so depressing sometimes. 12, I didn't like the characters too much. Balthier was fun. 11, again, like, you know, like who's really performing there? Like I think the last like breakout performance for Final Fantasy was 10. Not to say the performances were bad in 15. I think they were decent, but like this was good. Like Clive was good. I liked him as a character. So Ben Starr, very passionate about it too. Like he seems to enjoy the source material, and he killed the audition based on one line, and they hired him like for doing the audition for a very, very dramatic scene. So yeah, second is let's see, Cameron Monaghan. That's his name? That's your name? Monaghan. Cameron Monaghan. So nah, it doesn't make it. Cal Kestis. I did play Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Actually was pretty cool too. I forgot that was this year too, and it's not nominated for anything. Well, it's nominated for this. Let me stop. Why is Knuckles here, right? Hey, you're Knuckles. Idris Elba, his performance wasn't bad, but it wasn't like Keanu's performance in Cyberpunk. And you can tell he kind of phoned it in from time to time, but he wasn't awful either, but I'm not gonna vote for him for this. Melanie LeBird, man, I want to support you so bad for like multiple reasons, but Alan Wake 2 I didn't play, so I can't even give I can't even weigh in on that for you. I'm sorry, Melanie. It's not Cal Kestis. Like he wasn't that bad, but it's not, he's not over Ben Starr for me. Neil Newbin. Who's this? Baldur's Gate 3. Who is this? Cameron was also Joker on CW Gotham. Yeah, I remember that. That's where a lot of people remember him from. I'm glad he's getting work with this though, because I don't think he's a bad actor. Who is Neil Newbin? Don't tell me it's Astaroth. Sorry, Astaroth. Asterion. It's Asterion. I don't know. Like I haven't even had that much gameplay with Asterion. Like he's just there sitting at my camp. Why do people like this character? I find him extremely annoying sometimes, but maybe I haven't spent enough time with him. Maybe on another campaign I'll involve Asterion a little bit more. But it's not you. It's not him. Yeah, not a big fan of Asterion. Yeah, he's just a little too, I don't know, he's a little too weird at first. Like my guy, the first order of business is to come in and suck your blood at the very beginning and like, oh, I'm a vampire. It's just gonna be a little bit. Bro, you're hovering over me in the middle of the night at my camp that I just allowed you to. After I just saved your annoying ass at the beginning, I should have stabbed him right there in that moment, which you can do, by the way, which is why I like Baldur's Gate 3. That's crazy. They give you choices, bruv. I prefer Gale actually over like his performance over Asterion. Yuri Lowenthal. This is the one that might be a close one. When Yuri gets the black suit, I was actually like pretty impressed. The one thing I don't like about Spider-Man now, Spider-Man 2, it was like a little OD this time around. So I love that they have to record their lines twice. One's for when they're standing around and they're speaking neutrally, and the other when they're web swinging and they're like breathing hard. Sometimes they'll just be screaming and like they're the loudest thing on screen. So both, Miles not so bad, but Yuri is screaming like, oh, I can't imagine the tear on his voice. The amount of lines that he had to scream for those web slinging, you know, cell phone calls or voiceovers. I just thought it was a bit much and it took me out a little bit. I thought that I'd give it to Yuri, even though he's not my favorite Peter voice. Yeah, like, but I think overall he does a good job as Peter. His voice doesn't match Peter's face to me though. Shit. This is a hard choice. Ben Starr or Yuri? I think Yuri. Yuri's been in this for a very long time, and I think he deserves this type of award. Ben Starr, I hope that he continues to do more work within the game industry. I would love to see him kill it next time around for whatever he's in. I'm gonna go with Yuri. I'm sorry, Clive. It's Yuri. Best performance, Yuri Lowenthal. That's a voice, man. I remember like I first heard him as Sasuke in Naruto. He was Sasuke for the English dub. But where I remember Yuri specifically was Haseo. My guy is like the king of screaming, like delivering loud lines. And he was Haseo in Dot Hack GU. I don't know if you guys played that game or if it's before anybody's time, but that was like a PC trilogy. Like Dot Hack was like a crazy experience. Like it was like this plan to make a manga, an anime, multiple games, all surrounding like this MMO experience that was like putting people in comas. Like the lore was just so wild. Like if people cared more about Dot Hack, I would literally make tons of videos about Dot Hack, like just to learn what I missed over the years in all of these shows, bruv. But Dot Hack, oh my god, like that shit cleared. I think that was like one of the really first like anime games I played, because I played like Star Ocean and Final Fantasy and things like that, which I wouldn't call an anime game. Like there was like Japanese influence games like for the PlayStation era, but when it got to PlayStation 2, that's when that anime art style really started to seep in, and like Dot Hack was like the pioneer of that. It was crazy. In the West at least. Like I'm sure Japan was making anime like related games for a very long time. But yeah, Dot Hack, that's when I first heard Yuri, and like he put his ass into that. Like pause, but he worked his ass off. But there's Dot Hack everywhere, man. Like there was so many different things, right? So I really wish like they made like a modern game. But what's the CyberConnect? CyberConnect is like making all these stupid lame, like, all right, we get it, Naruto made you money, but come on, go back to Dot Hack, bruv. Make something Dot Hack related. I care about Dot Hack. Is way better than Sword Art Online. I agree. Like overall, like this, the characters that were written to Dot Hack and like the world building was pretty intense. And it was just like I recently played it. I'm not gonna harp on it too long, but there's lore for the online game on top of the lore that you're playing for the actual game, on top of lore of things going on in the real world. There's so many layers to it. It's amazing. And just like kind of trying to wrap your mind around it is it's pretty fun to do. Okay, innovation in accessibility. So I think this is a pretty cool award and an important one. Recognizing software and or hardware that's pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. This might be difficult for me to judge because I don't remember. This is like, sometimes you'll have to, some will beat you over the head with it, which I think is fair. Like, let's say that you go in, you're completely blind, and the game's not like, hey, do this to set blind mode or color blind mode or something like that. Like, I think it's very important to make these options obvious. So I don't remember a lot of these things, so it's going to be hard for me to make a decision. Accessibility wise, like for me, from a very, very high level, I think honestly Street Fighter 6 for putting 2 different types of game mechanics in there though. There's like an easy mode and then there's like the classic mode, and people like tell you that you're not playing it right if you're not playing classic mode, but for somebody who just wanted to experience the story, I kind of like the idea of that. So I'm not gonna look back, I'm just gonna pick Street Fighter 6. I don't remember the accessibility for the rest, but I like the idea of making fighters more accessible to larger communities, because these mechanics sometimes they're way too freaking much. Games for impact. I'm gonna skip this one because I did play one of these. All right, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Aren't stories in fighting games usually trash? Yeah, but you know, like for a channel like mine, I like to stay on top of the lore. Who knows, one day I might do Street Fighter stuff. They're always trash though, but for some reason it's like the reality TV of video games. Like, I want to know who got this time around, and like I was a little disappointed with story mode though. Like, they were selling it like it was going to be a little bit better this time around, but it wasn't. It was pretty damn garbage for Street Fighter 6. But that doesn't have an impact on my decision for just overall accessibility. A Space for the Unbound, Chance of Senara, which I haven't played. Goodbye Volcano High. Like, honestly, somebody gifted this to me as a joke because they said they're like, oh, that's that dinosaur scaly game that you want to play, right? Like, I'll pay for this game if you play it on stream, and I never ended up doing it. But I did play it in front of a bunch of Discord friends, just so they could just so I could fulfill my promise. So I did play this game, and this game is not the game that was advertised when this was announced back when the PlayStation 5 was like released. I was very disappointed in the narrative. Like, it just harps on for so long. Some of these characters are just a little too much, and like, I can't relate. Overall, I think the story had a lot of potential and they didn't deliver, but not to say that the whole thing was trash. Like, there was some decent writing moments, but I heard like the original writer just totally left and just made their own game that ended up being a whole parody of this title. So I can't even vote for this in good faith. And the rest of the games I don't know. So I remember seeing the trailer for this, but I never played that either. And the rest, these two I haven't heard about. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip this one. Can I skip? Yes, I can skip. So let's go to the next. These all just seem like indie games to me. Yeah, like those stories for impact. I think they were trying to aim for like indie games or like more, I don't know. It's hard to tell, like artsy fartsy types of games, for lack of a better word. Forza maybe, because it seems to have more than Diablo 4 was, just to make up for the mess of Immortal. Diablo 4, man, like I played so much. I spent a lot of time playing Diablo 4, and then once I was done with the campaign, I was not interested in the seasons. I hope that they've improved it, but I haven't heard much from Diablo fans, which is concerning to me. But maybe I'll go back once all the content, like maybe when we have a really, really good season. Then I'll go back to Diablo 4. Best ongoing game, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. I find Cyberpunk 2077 weird because you're just adding DLC. Is that best ongoing game? Some of these are questionable. I heard Fortnite had a big update this year and it brought so many people back, but I don't know enough about Fortnite to really vote on that. Apex Legends is always killing it as far as I see. Like, I don't play a lot of Apex, but seeing like the amount of content they put out this year, I might go with Apex just from like what I know. Final Fantasy 14 is always going to be my choice, but I vote for this every year. I think it won this like twice already. The updates I can't weigh in on for this year. I haven't played Final Fantasy 14 at all this year, so I don't know how good the updates are, but they do have a new expansion coming out very soon. I think sometime next year. So I could vote based on that as well. Genshin, I think, is pretty consistent, but it seems very samey to me too. But it has such a huge fan base that it might be the one. I don't know. Do I want to go with Genshin this year? FF, Genshin, or Fortnite? I'm gonna go with my gut and say Final Fantasy 14. I'm always gonna be biased to 14. It's such an amazing experience. It's very hard for beginners to get into now. But if you want to jump in and just like enjoy that, like those expansions and like this overall like world that's been built out, is like some of the best we've have in the entire Final Fantasy series. It's not slept on, but I think a lot of people are like a little scared to jump into this one. So like so much of the content's already free. So if you want to try it out, go ahead, like go give it a try. If you have the PC for it, I mean, it's available for PS5 now as well. So I don't know. All the older COD players seem to have migrated en masse to Apex. Yeah, because Call of Duty's been disappointing people lately. And it does remind me of like Black Ops 3. Like the mechanics of Apex reminds me of Black Ops 3 overall. And these are the guys that made Titanfall, which essentially were part of the Call of Duty team for a little bit. And I think they broke off after Modern Warfare 2. So they're like the remnants of the old Infinity Ward. So yeah, I don't know. Apex, I think it's cool. Like that would have probably gotten my vote if I played more of it. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, No Man's Sky. I haven't seen much from No Man's Sky this year. I thought that this was complete, but I guess, let me see. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. I think I would give this to Baldur's Gate this year because Larian Studios is pretty phenomenal with those patches. I just downloaded one the other day and I had to re-download the whole game. It's like 40 gigs. I didn't even ask for that. I'm not surprised Sonic isn't on the best community support. I would love for them to be there. Like their team is amazing, or best social team or something. Like they're like the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. That was this year, right? That should have been there for that reason. I'm surprised that wasn't nominated. See, did you pick up the pre-order for that new 4K release of the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie? Why is there a heart in the way? There's a $100 pack with the movie posters, stickers, and booklets. Who repackaged that? Also, Tobato Vision, welcome to the stream. 4K Super Mario Brothers movie. 1993. Man, did they hire somebody to remaster this for them? That's pretty dope. I don't even know who owns the rights to this movie anymore. Release date is the 24th. $40. Anniversary, 30th anniversary edition. They're trying to milk the success of the Mario movie, but this is actually pretty awesome. I saw a YouTuber that was restoring this. I wonder if they hired that person. I haven't seen this though. This is actually pretty dope. I wonder if they're gonna have, yeah, 4K deleted scenes. Oh man, do I gotta like watch this and go back and like revisit my video on this? To be discussed. I'll keep this on a tab somewhere. Tobato Vision, thanks for the heads up on that. I didn't know that existed. If it's AI upscaled, that would be nutty. That's what I'm thinking. Like, how else would it? Well, I don't know. If they have the original film, it's not hard to make things 4K, because if you have like the original film, you can actually get pretty high quality stuff out of that. So maybe they did 4K that way, but who knows? Dude, it's gonna be epic. If you get it, get the $100 box set. I'll look into it like after the stream and see if I want to do it, because I don't know. Like maybe there's like I never thought I would go back to that movie, but now that I have like 4K footage to work with, maybe it's worth the time. Who knows? And if it has all that new content and like all that cool stuff, posters and all that, like I'm down for that. Thanks for the heads up. Okay. Best independent game for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. What the heck does that mean? I'm totally lost on that. Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, Viewfinder. Is this best indie game? Is that what they're trying to tell me? This is best indie game. Okay, that makes sense. Their description wasn't very clear on that. Outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. I get what they mean now. So a lot of people were bitching about Dave the Diver being here, even though it's backed by Nexon, sorry. Nexon helped a small team publish this game, and I think it's like the remnants of the MapleStory one. But I would definitely vote for Dave the Diver over Sea of Stars. I think Sea of Stars would deserve it for best like legit indie game. If we really want to take this at face value and say like, let's do indie game. I think Sea of Stars is pretty dope, but there's like, the plot's very boring and the characters are pretty one-dimensional in my opinion, and it doesn't seem to get any better. But the art style and like overall RPG mechanics are pretty damn good. This is another game that I played this year. But Dave the Diver, definitely more interesting for me and a little bit more innovative. So that's what it's going to be for me. I know Nexon is backing them, but honestly, I think it's a pretty small team that worked on it. And I don't think they were trying to be like disingenuous about that either. So I'm gonna go with that. Dave the Diver is the only one with a traditional story on there too. Yeah, I think they piled on that story a little thick. But I don't mind it either. It just felt like I got a little bit more than I bargained for. Like I played the demo, but I didn't think they would lean so much into that that other plot. I just like, sometimes I just really just want to like just clear all the objectives and catch all the fish underwater. That's that's pretty much what I'm working with that. Best debut indie game. Pizza Tower. For the best debut game created by a new independent studio. Isn't Pizza Tower has been around for a while, I think. Huh. All right, let's start from the top. Cocoon I did not play. Dredge I didn't play, so I might have to skip this one. Pizza Tower I didn't play. Venba I didn't play. Viewer. But Pizza Tower I did play. Pizza Tower I feel like has such a high learning curve. Like it's not even like it's hard to play, but it's hard to master, and that bugs me. So I didn't really like get into Pizza Tower. So it's not for me. If you're into Wario games, like Wario Land games and Sonic games, it's kind of like a fusion of the two. But it feels like a Flash game at the same time as well. But great art style and a rabid fan base. I can't vote for it because I wasn't really into it. Venba I don't really know about. Like I've seen the trailers for it, Viewfinder. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip this category. We'll move on to the next one. Pizza Tower hit like a brick, and Venba is one I installed and didn't play. Yeah, I just don't feel qualified to answer that one. Best mobile game. For the best game playable on a mobile device. I'm gonna go with Honkai Star Rail because this seems to have the best aesthetic and best fan base. Ever Crisis I did not play. That's probably would be a second for me. I've been out of the mobile game industry for too long, so it's gonna be that. I gotta get through these. Once we get to the esports, bruh, I'm skipping all of that shit. Best VR and AR, I didn't play any of these. I'm gonna go ahead and skip this one too. Horizon Call of the Mountain, I think might deserve that one. Maybe Gran Turismo 7. I don't know what the VR experience is like. Resident Evil is actually always pretty dope with their VR games, but since I haven't experienced any of these, I'm not gonna vote for this one. Terra Nil is also on Steam. It's a cute game. I wish it wasn't sold as a tycoon. It's really a puzzle. That's what I thought that game was, so maybe I should try it out. Didn't One OK Rock make the opening for Monster Hunter? Did they? I didn't even like, I don't know, Monster Hunter, I forgot that game even released in the West. So like, I thought that was just in like China and Japan for some reason. Star Rail is surprisingly good, so I don't feel bad about my choice. Maybe I should play it one of these days. It's just really hard for me to get into mobile stuff. I have 31 categories. Oh my God, let's keep moving. Best action game. For the best game in the action genre, focus primarily on combat. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, I think. Yeah, I think it's gonna be that. Hi-Fi Rush is a good action game, but I wouldn't vote it for best action game. Armored Core, honestly, it's difficult, but this is fun. I played this year as well. I think it deserves it. Dead Island 2 I did play as well, by the way. The fact that I didn't even acknowledge it, but I did get through that whole game. Like, honestly, it's mind-numbing fun, but not best action game. So it's weird that they were even put there. Remnant 2 for you? I heard good things about Remnant, but I never played it, so I couldn't really weigh in on that one. That's another one that's on my list. The Shogun, by the way. I don't know if I said what's up yet. Welcome. Chester, is that gay Bowser? By the way, look, I got all these Kirby plushes now. I plan to like use these in some of my videos coming up. So, all right, best action adventure. How do you differentiate the two then? Best action and best action adventure. Yo, look, Alan, your boy Alan Wake made it again. Is that Jared Leto, by the way? Is that who stars in Alan Wake? And is Alan Wake the person Alan Wake in Alan Wake? I really don't know what this game's about. I need to like play it. For the best action adventure game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Okay, so they answered my question here. That's what makes action adventure. Puzzles. So we got to consider puzzles and combat. And if it's puzzles, Spider-Man ain't taking it. Those mini games are kind of whack. There's a lot more potential that they could have done with like the puzzle stuff. I'm surprised it wasn't in best action. I think Resident Evil 4 takes this for me, or maybe Tears of the Kingdom. Ooh, this is. I'm not doing Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's a great game, but not better than those two that I just mentioned. Resident Evil 4. Well, puzzle wise, nah. It's Tears of the Kingdom for me. It's Tears of the Kingdom. The Alan Wake actor is some Italian actor. So why do I always look at this dude and think it's Jared Leto or something? Oh man, okay. It was Resident Evil 4 is a close second, but it's Tears of the Kingdom for me. And I do that because I think they have some of the most innovative puzzles in a video game that I've ever played. The freedom to just engineer shit. And sometimes they were super annoying. They were super fucking annoying, some of them shrines, but like when you got it and it clicked, it was like the most satisfying thing in gaming this year. So I'm gonna go with that. Have you ever played Alan Wake? I haven't, but I've made it clear on stream before. Like that's something that I gotta play. I didn't play the first one, and I played a little bit of Control, but I didn't get through. So it's hard for me to weigh in on Alan Wake. Alan Wake 2. I just don't want to go into Alan Wake 2 without playing the first two games. You know, so maybe that's a project for early next year for me. Like right when that January cold happens, I'm gonna just like steamroll Alan Wake and then Control and then Alan Wake 2, and then I'm gonna be an Alan Wake channel. Alan Wake is just so mid. It's just survived for so long. Like it must have something appealing, right? Compared to the others, Queen Z, you agree with me. Compared to the others, it's Tears of the Kingdom. They had the most side quests in open world. I love the depths. The depths are amazing. So that, like, as far as action adventure, that's awesome. Exploring like the dark, like wallowing through the dark and seeing these massive like frog silhouettes in the way into the distance. That's crazy. And then you have the sky like places, and how am I gonna fly up to that tower up there? And then I can skydive and go to the depths below. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, definitely, man. It's a action adventure for me. You're gonna play Minako's Night Market all winter? What is that? You've piqued my interest. Minako's Night Market. Oh, I played this at this was at PAX, actually. I think I played a little bit of it, but you know, sometimes it's got mixed reviews, but this does look cozy. This does look cozy. I played a little bit of that at PAX, and like the thing is, like, it's hard to play demos at PAX because like you'll go to these booths and you'll sit down and the developers or whoever's working on it with you won't rush you, right? So as you're playing through it, you're reading all the text and stuff, and there'd be somebody standing behind you like wanting to play. So there's that pressure, like, oh, I gotta get through this. And they don't, a lot of those games aren't demos. They're like the whole game. They just give you the whole game and you just play it, or like whatever they have. Like the demos are chunky. It's like 2-hour, 3-hour demos. So like whenever I go to these conventions, it's very hard for me to sit there and like really get a good idea or a good grasp of what the games are, because there's all this pressure and I don't want to take up all this time, especially when they can like show more Like you can show this game to more people. Me being like just some random person sitting there and maybe the media would pull up, like, come on. It's just a lot of pressure. It's hard to play games out there, man. And the lines, like, I love PAX, don't get me wrong. But that's one of those things. Like, if I'm going there, I'm probably going there to like just see what's there, try a little bit of everything, and just kind of like just be around like the gaming community. I don't know. But being there as a creator, it's pretty fun. It's so awkward, right? Like, I don't want to like sit there while somebody's standing there waiting for like 30 minutes for me to get through, and they're like watching me and they probably despise me as I'm going slow through this freaking demo. Best RPG. Ooh. What? Starfield? Why the fuck is Starfield here? Would you guys consider Starfield an RPG? That's like, come on. I don't know, maybe? That's another game I gotta finish. Am I gonna stream the Suikoden remix when they come out? I have to, right? I don't know. I might want to like sit down and like take my time with it. That seems like something that I would want to do on Twitch. Like I gotta like, for games that are like less, like more intensive and I gotta spend more time streaming, I feel like I gotta do that on Twitch. And I gotta revive my Twitch channel to do so. I don't know. The links for my Twitch is in the description below if you guys want to follow me there. I really like love the vibe of Twitch for just casual streams. I always feel like my YouTube streams need to be something like more substantial. I don't know, it's arguable. We'll see when they come out, but like that's one of my favorite series too for RPGs. You would watch all 30 hours, so I appreciate it. At least I have one person watching me. I really like, it's been a while since I really got into a game. I used to finish games on Twitch, so I want to get back into that and kind of experience it. The flip side of that is maybe I'll do it in Discord more often when I don't feel like setting up a whole ass stream. I'll just jump in on my Discord like Tuesdays and Thursdays or something and just stream there. What even is Starfield? This is crazy. My guy said, what is Starfield? Baldur's Gate, it's between these two. And it's like, fuck. I think as an RPG, Baldur's Gate takes it. Especially like it's more traditionally RPG. Like this is a quintessential RPG. This is literally what RPGs were built from. These types of mechanics. So I'm gonna go with that. Easy pick. Sorry, Final Fantasy 16. I'd love that for best narrative though. They should win best narrative. Best fighting game. God of Rock, which I never heard of. It's between Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 is a little disappointing to me. I didn't even play Mortal Kombat 1. But it seems more appealing to me overall. Mortal Kombat 1 for the win. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm kind of breezing through these now. Best family. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. Ooh, I'm gonna upset some people. Well, no, I'm not gonna make people mad. Overall, like you would think it would be between Sonic Superstars and Super Mario Brothers Wonder for me. Honestly, I feel like I should vote Sonic Superstars as a Sonic fan, but I am going to be completely honest with you guys. This is not it. I'm gonna go with Pikmin 4. I'm gonna go with Pikmin 4. I forgot about that game too. That came out this year, man. I actually had a better experience at Pikmin 4 than I did with Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And I think that's a great game for kids. Or for the full family. Now to play together, probably not. But this is not multiplayer experience, this family game. I think Pikmin 4 like really for kids is like a great critical thinker game. I think Super Mario Brothers Wonder is a close second. So I'm gonna go with Pikmin. Disney for the fam. Yeah, like I never played this game, but I actually heard good things about Illusion Island. It's Pikmin for me. I would love to see them make it upset and win. It's definitely not gonna be Sonic Superstars. I'm sorry, Sonic, man. I feel horrible. I feel horrible. But it's not Sonic Superstars. It can't be. I can't do that in good faith. Best sim and strategy. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation. Man, it's been so long since Fire Emblem Engage. I forgot this was a thing. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. Man, this game tanked. No pun intended. because they decided to put it off because of the Russian-Ukraine conflict that's going on, which I felt like was such a weird move. But they put it off for like over a year. Like, I feel like there must have been another like excuse for that. I don't know. It was just so odd that I never even got around to playing this. These are great games, but I can't weigh in on the actual remake. City Skylines 2, I heard was going through some issues, but never played it. Company of Heroes 3, I didn't play. Fire Emblem Engage, I think, was not as good as Three Houses. So for me, it's going to be Pikmin 4 again, best sim and strategy. Damn. Yeah, it's Pikmin 4. Party Animals is a lame gang beast, and Pikmin 4 is awesome. First game I bought for my Switch after Tears. Yeah, like Pikmin 4 is a treat, especially if you've never played a Pikmin game before. I would say if you really want to get into the series, you should get the remasters for 1 and 2 that they just put out. I think Pikmin 3 Deluxe is on the Switch. Play those games first, because once you get to 4, it's going to be hard to go back. Best sports racing game. I played none of these this year. But I think Forza always kills it, so I'm just gonna just throw my vote into Forza. It always wins. It's either Forza or Gran Turismo. Didn't Gran Turismo come out this year? Or is that last year? I think that was 2022. And I think they won it last year, so next, best multiplayer. Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know what that experience is like. Diablo 4 was decent for multiplayer. It's not Party Animals, not Street Fighter 6. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I'm gonna give 1 vote to Wonder on this, just because they have that whole Dark Souls like type of multiplayer experience going on, online multiplayer with the hints and stuff like that. Some of them got me through like some of the hardest levels, even though it doesn't feel right. I feel a little dirty like having people help me during these levels, but I'm gonna go with Super Mario Brothers Wonder for that one. Baldur's Gate might be one, but it just doesn't feel like it's tailored around a multiplayer experience. You know what I mean? Best adaptation, Castlevania Nocturne didn't really like hit the gooch the right way that the others did, for lack of a better word. Gran Turismo, I didn't see the movie. I don't know if that's really an adaptation. It's a movie about someone inspired by Gran Turismo, as far as I'm aware. So I don't think it's really counts for best adaptation. The Last of Us. I forgot that that was this year as well. Mario Brothers movie and Twisted Metal. I didn't watch Twisted Metal. I actually heard people laughed at Twisted Metal, but I felt like they butchered it. Baldur's Gate turns goofy real quick when you play with the goons. That's why I'm dying to play it. I want people to make some real fuck ups. Like, I'm not turning back. We're not reloading. I want a game like just complete with fuck ups and just real goofy with it. Like, if we're making decisions and we vote on somebody like getting killed, somebody's getting killed, you know? So that's why I'm playing alone first, because I know that I'd be frustrated the second time around, or the first time around if I played with friends. It's between The Last of Us and Super Mario Brothers movie for me. I thought The Last of Us was phenomenal. I'm really fatigued by The Last of Us, so I'm actually shocked that I like The Last of Us so much. But Super Mario Brothers movie was so refreshing. I personally think The Last of Us is a better production, but as far as adaptation, and it's a really good adaptation. They actually nail the characters, so I can't even argue that Mario pulls it off better. This has been a long time coming for a Nintendo franchise. I mean, I'm excluding Detective Pikachu. I'm not ignoring it, but this is the one. It's gonna be Mario Brothers movie for me. Next, I think they're gonna take it as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if Last of Us does it. The Last of Us was amazing series-wise. The Mario movie. Hold on, there's like this heart thing in the corner of my screen. It makes me react to stuff, and I can't see what you guys are saying because it's blocking it. The Last of Us was amazing series-wise. The Mario did amazing with the movie. Yeah, so it's hard to pick an adaptation, because they both like killed it in both mediums. Most anticipated game. Now this one, I'm gonna rule out Star Wars Outlaws. Even though like I love like Star Wars, and I think it's gonna be strange seeing Ubisoft take a crack at it. I'm just gonna rule that out. Tekken 8, I'm gonna rule out because I really love Tekken as a fighter. This seems like it has like some minor bells and whistles added from Tekken 7, but they're just overhauling a lot of this stuff and adding new characters. And of course, like the story is continuing, but I don't know how I feel about the story right now because the story is wild right now. But I'm a huge Tekken fan, but no, it's not this one. So it's between these three for me, and I'm leaning hard on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hades 2 is looking pretty damn good, man. I like Hades was a like Supergiant Games always puts out phenomenal content, but I think Hades was my favorite. But it's not it. So I'm gonna rule out Hades, even though I'm gonna go with Like a Dragon, and I hope they win. This team deserves it. This is the first time I've seen them on the stage. I think Yakuza 0 won a Game Award one time, or they were nominated for one, but that's been the last time. Like a Dragon got nominated last year too, but I don't think they won anything. So I want to see that team win. I'm ready to lose another 200 hours in Hades, right? That game is amazing. So now we have a new character, and I forget who the character is. I thought it was gonna be called I thought it was who did I think it was? I haven't seen the trailer in a while, but I'm excited to see it back, and like all the new environments seem great. Queen Z said Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was like a really close second for me. Content Creator of the Year. Can I write in somebody? The Men Talk. Who are these people? Who are these people, man? I can't even vote in on this. I feel like I'm left behind. Like I don't even know any of these content creators, bruv. Yeah, so everybody go in and write in the Men Talk for Content Creator of the Year, bruv. I've been killing myself all year. Where's my nomination? Maybe one here I'll get here, guys. But I feel like my content would never like really like fit with this type of community. These are like people, I don't even know what these people do. Do they stream? Do they make YouTube content? I feel like these lean more towards streamers or whatever. I don't know. But I'm not gonna vote. I don't know any of them. Best esports game. Where's Apex? Isn't Apex an esports game? Why isn't it here? I feel like Valorant's gonna take this one. Man, so Valve, Riot, and then you have PUBG. So like this is so whatever. I think Valorant's gonna take that one. And then I don't know any of these people. So that's pretty much the end of the votes for me. So if you guys want to go cast your vote, go ahead and do so. Iron Mouse is a Twitch VTuber. Yeah, I'd assume that she streamed just because like the VTuber stuff. I don't know if she speaks Japanese or English or whatever. It's hard to tell with these characters. But yeah, go ahead. If you guys want to put your votes in, I don't know how much they weigh them and like what these nominees will do, but go ahead and put them in. Did you guys notice that there's no player's choice this year whatsoever? They're like, bro, like Sonic and Genshin fans ruined player's choice for the Game Awards this year. So if they're not there, I'm not about it. Unless it's here somewhere. They probably just didn't want to deal with the impact of that. My guy Jeff Keighley been using the same picture for like 10 years. All right, so that's basically it for the Game Awards. I don't know. What do you guys think? I guess my votes weren't too controversial because nobody seems upset in the chat. So there's that. League still has the highest turnout in views still. So, okay, so I believe you on that. It's probably League of Legends. The longevity of that game is wild. I'm surprised that that's not part of best ongoing game as well, but I don't know if they have updates, so they probably don't qualify for that reason. But I got through it. Okay. So I guess the last part of the stream, and then I'll leave it up to you guys whether you want to do this or not, but there is one piece of news that I have not talked about, and that is the Zelda Live-Action Movie that they announced. Zelda Live-Action Movie. I wanted to make like a formal vlog about this with my thoughts, but let's talk a little bit about this. Let's go to The Verge. I don't even know who The Verge is. Who's running The Verge these days? All right, hold on. I feel like I need some like Zelda music in the back to read this. Let me get some chill Wind Waker music. Specifically. I didn't think the nominations would actually take me that long. I was hoping I would get through that like within the first hour. How long have I been streaming? 2 hours and 5 minutes. Okay, so it's like about an hour and 30 minutes that it. No, I don't want thunderstorm ambience. Just give me like regular shit, please. Okay, there we go. Zelda and Chris Pratt as it's yeah. I want Chris Pratt as Link for sure. Okay, let me close all this. All right, so if you guys didn't know, Nintendo is making a live-action Zelda movie. Yeah. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. So this article is by Andrew Webster from The Verge, and I'm sure it's gonna have Shigeru Miyamoto's like comments in here and all this other stuff. I think it might have been better to make a high-quality anime movie of Zelda instead of live action. Right. I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you, but let me get through this article and then I'll give my thoughts. So, Nintendo's foray into movies isn't stopping anytime soon. The company has confirmed that it's working on a live-action adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. The movie will be directed by Wes Ball, best known for the Maze Runner trilogy and the upcoming Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, I know that I don't know how people feel about Maze Runner. I've never watched that trilogy before. The upcoming Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, I know there's always hype around the Planet of the Apes series, and I think that people really are invested in like the last 3 films. I think it's 3 or is it 4? I think it's 3 films. So if he is directing that movie, depending on how Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes turns out, I think we'll get a good idea of where his head's at with this. But I personally want something that's very gritty. If you're gonna do live action Zelda, nothing that's like crazy and gory, but something that's like really like down to earth and not like jokey like the Mario Brothers movie is. Now I know Zelda can be comical at times, but I think like if you're trying to capture, let's say the original 3 games, it needs to be like a gritty version of those. Because those games don't really lean into comedy too much, and the plot, like if you read the lore of the like the first 2 games especially, it's a very dire situation in Hyrule. Like people in Hyrule are basically eating shit in the first game. I don't know if they're gonna adapt the very first game or do like their own thing, but the lore of the first game, like Ganon has wrecked Hyrule so badly that people are living in caves. That's why there's that old man living in that cave. So it's pretty bad. So I think it should be like a very, very dire situation in Hyrule if we're gonna do it this way. Otherwise, if they're gonna like make this about like Breath of the Wild, which they might, I prefer like an animated approach to it. You know what I mean? Smash Cinematic Universe confirmed. I think they have to be leading up to that. They need to get my boy Sonic in there though, for sure. All right, Zelda creator Shigeru Miyamoto will serve as a producer, much as he did on this year's animated Super Mario Brothers movie. So Miyamoto essentially, I don't think he's like looking after the games anymore at all. Like I think he has like I think his official title at Nintendo is like creative officer or something like that. But you know he's getting paid a lot. But he's like on this pilgrimage to like spread Nintendo outside of the games. Like he's working on movies and the Nintendo world, which I'll get a chance to finally see when I go to Japan this December. But you guys see what he's trying to do. Like I think he's just like this roaming old man that's trying to spread like the Nintendo titles into as much media as possible, which I think is a great move on his part. And of course he's very particular. So I think this will do well. But live action, this would be his first live action film. So I'm a little like concerned there, but I guess they did a decent job with Super Mario Brothers movie. He'll be producing alongside Avi Arad, who, if you don't know who Avi is here, he's worked on a ton of the Spider-Man films, like all of them, like most of them. From Sam Raimi all the way to The Amazing Spider-Man and the most recent Spider-Man movies, as well as the Sony verse that's happening right now. But he's done a lot of other superhero movies like Blade, X-Men. He was the producer for a lot of those. Now, what his influence is and what his effect is on this franchise, I am not sure. When I say franchise, I mean this movie. I'm not sure like the extent. This guy also produced Morbius, which people were like sharing around the place, but this guy also made some spectacular superhero movies. So It's never a good idea to like take a look at the producer and say, oh, he produced that film, because sometimes you'll get who you think are the right people together, and then they'll totally fuck up the movie for you. So I would be more concerned about the director here, Wes Ball, but I don't know. We'll see how this Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes turns out. Anyway, Avi used to own Marvel. That's right. So like the Marvel Studios, right? Or did he own Marvel? Because he's very influential. Like, this is not like some nobody. So the tweet, actually, I thought this was a prank on Twitter, by the way. So Nintendo Japan tweeted out, and it translated to this. It said, "This is Miyamoto." And I thought this was a joke, because you know how people on Twitter are. My guy says, "This is Miyamoto." Like I felt like it was a Kanye moment. I don't know if you guys like see him, how he texts people. This yay. This is yay. And then he'll like say some demand or what he's thinking about. This is how it came across to me. Like, I just picture Miyamoto chilling with like Kanye and the Illuminati or some shit. Anyway, this is Miyamoto. I've been working on the live action film of The Legend of Zelda for many years now. Like, this is actually the biggest surprise to me. It sounds like he's been working on the Mario film and Zelda film at the exact same time, which is poetic because he did the first Super Mario Brothers game and Zelda game at the exact same time. So I honestly think that he did that on purpose for some reason. He's been working on it for many years now with Avi Arad's son, who has produced many mega hit films. Miyamoto said in a statement posted on Twitter. I refuse to say X. Elon has to change that back at some point. He's not going to, but I hate it. We might be waiting a while for the movie, however, Miyamoto said. It will take time until its completion, but I hope you look forward to seeing it. While there aren't many details on the movie itself, Nintendo says that it will be co-financed by itself and Sony, which is fascinating, with Nintendo footing more than 50% of the bill. So just so you guys are aware, like the fact that these two are working together, it's not surprising to me, because this is like Sony's pictures side. But let's see, Illumination. Who owns Illumination? I think Sony owns Illumination. Never mind. Who owns Illumination Studios? Universal. Okay, so Nintendo is like doing these things where it's working with other people that they used to beef with. If you guys don't know, there was this huge lawsuit between Nintendo and Universal in 1983 for the use of Donkey Kong, because Universal owned the rights to the King Kong. So they managed to get out of that lawsuit over like a few stipulations and like some hypocrisy on Universal's side. Long story short, but now they're making a whole like amusement park, and then on top of that, they made like a film with Mario. So isn't that cool? Like, I think that's dope. And then now they're making a movie with Sony, and Sony's like movie division, but that's pretty cool that Sony's has a part in a Zelda movie. Okay, continuing on. I think I got a donation. Why isn't it coming through though? Where are my donations at? It's Big Boss, man. Are my alerts on? I feel like something's not. My alert box is on, huh? Oh well, maybe it'll like delay in later. If not, Big Boss, thank you for the donation. I appreciate you, sir. Thanks so much. Cheers to you, Big Boss, pulling up with like every stream with $1 super chat. I gotta fix that. I feel like something broke. It's been a while since that happened. Anyway, where was I? We might be waiting. Okay, yeah. So we might be waiting a while for the movie to finish. However, it will take time. Okay, it will take time till its completion, but I hope you look forward to seeing it. While there aren't many details on the movie itself, Nintendo says that it will be co-financed by itself and Sony. Oh, there it is, finally. Thank you, Big Boss. I appreciate it. I already said thank you, but this is my dog. Thanks so much for the $1 donation. Cheers to you. So the announcements comes at a pivotal time for Nintendo, as the company has made its ambitions to become a broader entertainment company clear, as I mentioned before. And Miyamoto's kind of spearheading that. And I think they're doing a great job now. Like with all of the, like they have the new generation locked in with the Switch. I think like And when I say new generation, I mean like Gen Alpha, and then the kids, like, are kids now still Gen Alpha, or are we in the next generation? So not only you have like people like me, you have the millennials, who like pretty much are locked into Nintendo content and will purchase, you know, the Switch or whatever content they console they pull out. Gen Z, who I think like this is like their major Nintendo console for their adult lives, from teenage to adult lives. And then you have Gen Alpha, who are the kids. So you have like millennials buying these Switches for these kids, and Gen X, I should say. But you have like a huge market there. So I think like the market Nintendo has is like the biggest it's ever been right now. And the fact that video games are so popular, these franchises can go, like, you can take these anywhere. You can make Netflix shows. You can make, you can work with Disney on Disney Plus content. I don't know. You can make movies, and then you have mobile games that you could do, which they tried to do, but they pulled out of that. And then you finally have the games themselves. So let's see what Nintendo's trying to do. That includes not only the Super Mario Brothers movie, oh yeah, and the theme park, of course, but also a line of theme park attractions. I'm curious to see how far they're expanding Nintendo World, though. I heard that like only a Donkey Kong edition is in the works for Osaka, in Japan. But I haven't heard any plans for it in Hollywood or Orlando, and they're not even done with the Orlando version of the park. So I don't know. I'm curious to see where they're going with it, and if they're gonna have like a Zelda section or a Donkey. Well, they already said Donkey Kong, but like there'd be a cool Metroid section or something. Like, how far they plan on expanding this park? Because they have so many themes that they could work with. Not to mention Pokemon. So this year also saw the release of the latest major entry in the Zelda series with Tears of the Kingdom. By producing visual contents of Nintendo IP by itself, Nintendo is creating new opportunities to have people from around the world to access the world of entertainment, which Nintendo has built through different means apart from its dedicated game consoles, the company said in a statement about the Zelda film. By getting deeply involved in the movie production with the aim to put smiles on everyone's faces through entertainment, Nintendo will continue its efforts to produce unique entertainment and deliver it to as many people as possible. This is like the safest statement that you could possibly make. Very standard from Nintendo, but I'm curious to see how long it's going to take. Why did Miyamoto decide to announce it now if it's going to take a long ass time to come out? And then where are we going to see it? Is it going to be in theaters? It's probably going to be in theaters. Who's casted for the role? Have they started filming? This kind of sounds like they have a script done. Like, they decided who the studios are going to be. They have a script done, but they haven't done casting yet. So I imagine this is probably going to be cooking for another 2 years or so. So my bet is like 2025, early 2026. That's my bet for this. We need a Kirby ride where you get cakes as you go. Yeah, like a Kirby bakery would be amazing. Those are so popular all over Japan, and I don't understand why Nintendo doesn't capitalize on that, but we'll see. It was previously rumored that Nintendo was working on a live-action Zelda series for Netflix, though that project never came to pass. So I imagine that this movie was born from this concept. Like, they were originally going to do a live-action TV series for Netflix, and that probably fell through, and they went to a movie studio instead and got a producer to help with that. So that's kind of like where I'm at with this. I don't have like a really much of an opinion on this. Zombie Souffle, to your point, I would have preferred if this was a high quality animation. I remember seeing like a fan animation, like a really good one. I think like, okay, well, hold on. Maybe if I put Zelda anime, was it this? Yeah, it's this. So this is like spectacular. Like, this is just way too good. And this is not the first time this has been done before, but I think this is like the best one I've seen. I'm gonna play this, and then I'm probably gonna close out the stream for today, because I gotta continue working on my video for next week. But let me turn off the Zelda music here, just so you guys have an idea of what would be a great idea. This came out 5 months ago, so just imagine Yeah, this is a little all over the place. But yeah, I think like, hold on there. Let me find that image. Zelda anime image. Dr. Claw, mad producer, saying hello, love your work. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you for coming through and giving me props. I appreciate that. Man, I saw this thing all over Twitter. I'm just typing Zelda anime. Like, I want to make sure it's off screen so you guys aren't seeing anything inappropriate. Zelda anime. Because I swear I saw it. Aha! Nope. Never mind. Nah, I don't, okay, I won't have time to look for it now. Maybe I'll find it at some point, but oh yes. Well, okay, so like there's been like smash screenshots like this is like a reveal for Palutena, I think. And they had Zelda in anime form here. Like the whole trailer was like this amazing fight between Marth and Link, I think. And I think that would capture like something like that, or what they did in Link's Awakening. These are like some of the anime cutscenes they used for the beginning and ending of the game. So I think that fits the format a lot better because you're able to translate more colors, which Zelda is a very colorful and, you know, artistic medium. So I'm just concerned that live action might not be like the colors that we need, because it works for something like The Last of Us, where it's gloom and doom, it's the apocalypse, but it's atmospheric at the same time because you can let it breathe with these actors, like in these moments of solitude. But Zelda, I don't know. I think it would require animation, but I trust Miyamoto. Hopefully it does a good job and we have a good film out of it. Let's see, anything else? Anime can capture a lot emotionally that might end up cheesy in a live action, but I do hope it's good. Yeah, and vice versa too. I'm not knocking live action as a medium, but seeing like video games transformed into it, it kind of hurts sometimes too. But anyway, so I'm gonna get out of here for today. My voice is, my throat's closing up right now. Not in a bad way. I'm not having an allergic reaction or anything, but I got a lot of work to do. So I will see you guys the next stream. I might stream next week with Super Mario RPG when that comes out. I'm dying to play that game. I haven't played that game in maybe like 15 years, so it's gonna be great just reliving that experience. So feel free to come join me with the start of that. I don't know if I'll play it like alongside, like on stream forever, but we'll be here. So I'll see you next week. Look out for that stream, and then look out for a video this weekend. It's gonna be a vlog, a little bit different this time around, but I hope you enjoy it. It's Sonic content. But thanks for everyone for joining. The Shogun, Zombie Souffle, Dr. Claw, mad producer, I said Phoenix Gundam, right? JSW, Big Boss, thanks for the donation. Jalen Butler, Spidey Boy, and everybody else who came in earlier. Zay, Zan1500, Queen Z, I appreciate every single one of you. You keep this channel going. Props to all of you. Much appreciated. The Prophet has spoken. We're out of here. Have a good one, guys. Take care.